It's the SLC T20 League 2025. And it is a beautiful day and we are live at the SSC grounds, and another important game coming up, this time between the two unbeaten teams, GREYS versus the Greens. Well, that's a look at the game coming up. Two unbeaten teams, as I said, they have beaten the Blues. Both teams have beaten the Blues quite convincingly. And today it is the two unbeaten teams that are up against each other. And just to quickly remind you of the weather, the temperature minimum is 26, a maximum of 30, but I feel it's a little bit hotter than that. It's quite hot today, to be honest, but let's hope that we're going to have some really good cricket as this game unfolds. It's a fantastic tournament, I must say, with teams really playing very, very hard. It's a beautiful day and looking quite smart is Fawis Maharouf. Seem to be enjoying the sun.
It says max 30, I'm not too sure. I think max is about 36 to start off.
I think it's 36 now. So, what do you think, looking ahead and how this tournament has panned out? I mean, Blues haven't done well, but the other two teams are so far unbeaten and looking good.
I mean, looking at all three sides, Roshan, I just felt that the Blues lacked a bit of togetherness. But when it comes to the Greens and the Greys, there's a lot to like about. I'm not only saying because they won it. I think looking from the combox, I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me as well. There's something about a team spirit there. So that's probably the reason why both these sides are doing well. And this is going to be a massive game. Whoever wins it, probably 1 foot already in the finals.
Yes, indeed. First, let's take a look at that match summary of the last game where the Greys beat the Blues. Now, that was a very good game because the Greys got a very impressive first score with Nonandu Fernando getting 70, and he looked very good in that score of 188 for 8. And in reply, I thought at one stage the Blues were looking good actually, but Eshan Malinga and Binura Fernando, they were outstanding. They just did extremely well, ran through that side and pulled it back for the Greys. But just getting back to Nonandu Fernando, how impressed are you with him?
Very impressed. I think he's someone who's knocking on the door for a long time now. Good A-team series in Australia, carrying on the good form. He got 100 in the second test match. And the way he batted with responsibility, Charith Sri Lanka on the other side, I'm sure that he would have helped young Nonandu Fernando as well going through that knock. Overall, this is what you like to see, isn't it? As a former player, as a broadcaster yourself, Roshan, you want the youngsters to be knocking on the doors and put pressure on the players who are playing in the national side. So exactly we've been seeing, and hopefully it will continue today.
Yeah, now that's about Nonandu Fernando. And then we were also well, this is Nonandu Fernando. Nonandu Fernando batting. Just played some really fantastic shots. Excellent innings. That 70 was of very high standard. Played some lovely drives, looked very impressive. And certainly somebody for the future, no doubt. He's already made a mark for himself. You spoke about a good A-team tour for him.
Yeah, fantastic. Good to see him playing the ball on its merit. And it's not only about the big shots when it comes to slogging. It's about proper cricketing strokes. Played the field right, played the ball, picked up the bowlers who he has to attack. Overall, very impressive.
Now, what about Eshan Malinga? I thought went for 22 runs in that first over, but he came back very strongly. Those 4 wickets were outstanding.
Yeah, it made the big difference, isn't it? I mean, 22 runs of the first over. Then he showed why he's one of the hottest picks in the international cricket as well as in league cricket around the world. And playing in the IPL, those experience, and he knew how to come back. Again, slow balls into the pitch, the way forward against Kusal Janit Perera. He was bowling it and brilliant catch to get rid of him by Nonandu Fernando. Vikram Singh was going for a big shot. He knew the bouncer was coming since there was 3 fielders behind square saving the boundary. And even Dhananjay De Silva was disguised by a slower delivery. So it had everything. He had pace, he had cutters into the pitch. And as you know, Eshan Malinga, who did not play the national series against Bangladesh, point to prove, and he's proven already.
Yeah, that's very good, because it's good, I say, because there is so much of talent and depth in the Sri Lankan side, whether it is bowling or whether it is batting, which is very good news. As a selector watching, he will be very impressed. Whoever the selector will be very impressed. And well, this tournament, the whole idea of this tournament is to make sure that they unearth talent like this. Now, the SSC pitch. We do know it's a new surface that we are playing on. Fawis Maharouf with me here, but he was out there a little while earlier taking a close look.
It's a warm afternoon at the SSC. We are into game number 3. First and second game, we had good games. One was One by team batting first, the other was team batting second. New pitch today. We played in the joining pitch both the games, but today it almost looks the same. There is some grass covering on top just to keep the pitch together. Underneath it's quite hard. I don't see any moisture at all since the sun is baking down so badly in the last few days at the SSC in Colombo. Overall, I think this will be a very good pitch to bat on. Probably the first 6 overs, I think the team batting first would like to maximize the power play. In the middle overs for the spinners, maybe you might see some terms since it's very dry going forward. So overall, I think still a score of 170 if you bat first and try and defend it later on.
Interesting. 170 has been is something that you've been insisting, but teams have struggled actually. In the first game, you couldn't go beyond 140. Second game was good, but you still think, why do you say 170? Good surface?
It is definitely looking very good than the other game, I would say. And Roshan, 170, the benchmark I always set in domestic cricket. It's about setting the tone. If you have a good power play, you score about 50, 55, losing 1 wicket, score 8 runs per over, you easily can get 170. And a pitch, which I feel is going to be good for batting, you need some sort of assurance, try and defend it later. So it all depends whether you bat or bowl, how you're going to start, set the tone in the first power play, whether you bowl or bat. And that will become the boundary set.
Now I know you said it's a good pitch. Now in the first game, it was a little bit slow, as you did see it. So how different is it, and why do you say this is better than the first one?
It looks different in colour as well, slightly more drier. And also speaking to some of the local boys who play at the SSC, they also said they feel like this pitch will skid on better than the last pitches. So something that we will have to wait and see.
Right. So that's interesting. Always good pitches are important for games like this. And what would the captains do at the toss? Kosala Suresh Chandra out there with the 2 captains and the match referee.
It's day 3 and the third game. It's the Greys taking on the Greens. I have with me the captain of the Greys team, Charit Sri Lanka, and the captain of the Greens team, Kamindu Mendis, with our match referee, Wendell Labroy. Charit has the coin in hand. Charit will toss. Heads is the call. It is a heads. Kamindu, you've won the toss, and what are you going to do and why?
We're going to bowl first. I think. We're going to bowl first. I think the surface looks good, so that's why I'm bowling.
Any target that you would want to restrict the Greys to?
Maybe under 160 will be a good score to chase.
A bit of ups and downs in the previous game, but you managed to pull through. Happy with how the youngsters have played?
Yeah, they were playing really good last game. We had a couple of early wickets gone, but we managed to come back stronger.
Any changes in your team?
No, we're playing with the same team.
We wish you all the very best for today.
Thank you very much.
Charit, what have you ever done if you had won the toss?
I would have done the same thing, but as past previous day, we had to bat first.
Well, any changes in your side?
No, we are going with same level.
Well, you also had some youngsters perform well for you, so you might be very happy about that.
Of course, yes, that's the main target for the selectors and coach and myself to find some youngsters to perform consistently under pressure.
Any target that you have in mind today?
I think more than 170 will be a good score.
All right, I wish you very best and good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
So the story from the centre is that the Greens captain has won the toss and they will bowl first.
They will bowl first. Maha, you thought bat first. Why do you think the captains are thinking like this? Let's first take a look at the 2 teams. Let's take a look at the team. That's Greys that are batting first. So that's a look at the Greys side. What are your thoughts?
I mean, looks very strong. I think it all depends on the top order. I thought Dick Weller was unlucky to miss out the other game. Dinesh Chandimal got a very good ball, the first one, the golden duck. So he'll be wanting to come good. Again, the emphasis will be on Charit Sri Lanka and Winnie Fernando. Lairudaro looked good for his 40, so I'm sure he'll like to continue his good form. But I think looking at this side, their strength is bowling.
Right, what about the Greens? Now they're bowling first, they won the toss. Kamindu Mendis had no hesitation in deciding to bowl first. Your thoughts unchanged?
Yeah, it's good to see the continuation with the same side. Why change a winning formula, as they say? With the new ball, Dushmantha Chameera, I think he'll hold the key. If he can get a couple of wickets into the Greys middle order, I think that will be a major step. And Chami Karunath, I mean, he was superb the other game. 3 wickets, 40 odd not out in a winning course. So pretty sure the Greens outfit will be looking for the informed players to continue good form.
Now, I told you Greys and Greens are unbeaten. Let's show you the points table with Blues losing their game. So they're right at the bottom, but it's the Greys and Greens that are fighting it out at the top. It will be run rates that matter. So at the moment, Greens have a run rate of plus 1.4 and 1.2 to Greys, and Blues are struggling at the bottom. Now, it's a 3-team tournament. Now, let's focus a little bit on the Blues. What should they be doing? Is it a side that needs to needs a bit of beefing in their batting?
I think there are a lot of things is not going right at the moment. For one point that I would like to bring up, Roshan, just because Dunit Vellalaga's captaincy, just because you have 7 to 8 bowlers in a side, you don't have to use all those bowlers. So he was guilty of not bowling the best bowlers in their quarter of overs. Only Dunit Vellalaga himself bowled the 4 overs. The rest of the bowlers 2 overs, 3 overs. So first of all, I think in bowling front, identify your best 5 bowlers or maximum 6 bowler, get the job done. And probably the team meeting, as you correctly said, a bit of beefing, something has to come up, because you don't want a team losing 3 out of 3. Then that means only 2 teams are winning and going to the finals.
Now, one other thing, now Charith Sri Lanka is the national captain. We also know Kamithu Mendis is an experienced captain. We spoke about Vellalage being quite early in his days as captain. Is that a factor?
It is a factor for sure, but we still have Kusal Janit Perera, Dhananjay De Silva in that side to give him advices. So that's what I'm saying. The communication in that team is not to be seen. That's what's lacking. So maybe if they get everything together, maybe they come out tomorrow and win the game.
Yeah, now we're talking about a World Cup that's coming up. We're talking about building a T20 team. Maha, when you look at the whole purpose of this tournament is to identify young talent. One player is young Halambage. I mean, yes, he's not really set the world on fire, but he's shown a lot of promise and potential. But what areas do you think the Sri Lanka team will be looking to try and close? I mean, what are the gaps in the Sri Lankan side?
I think certainly the batting. I thought batting was very disappointing in the Bangladesh T20 series when Sri Lanka lost 2-1. So that's one area for sure. Maybe new options of bowlers. I think when it comes to bowling attack, Sri Lanka is poised for choices. Even spin and pace, there are lots of it. Batsmen, probably 1 or 2 spots up for grabs. And that's why I said earlier, it's important the players who are playing has to perform in the national side for them to keep that place. And the youngsters, the mix what we want is to keep knocking on that door and put the pressure on the senior players who are already there in the side. So these kind of tournaments, these kind of matches, but it's tailor-made for the youngsters.
And also strike rates. We do know that the Sri Lankan batters, the strike rates are not in keeping with the top in the world. Pathum Nissanka is in the mid-120s, Kusal Mendis over 130. So how about that? I mean, how about players like that, particularly in the top 6?
It is, I mean, when it comes to strike rate, Roshan, even I feel playing in the subcontinent, 130 above is the way forward. And the other factor I would like to see is having a middle order batter, Dasun Shanaka as not a replacement, someone to compete. At the moment, I don't see, apart from Charmika and Dasun Shanaka, the hard hitters or the big hitters, where can they hit the ball long, is not much when it comes to our potential players. So maybe if we can find one of them in this T20, we'll be happy, sir. Right,
so a lot to look forward to this tournament. It is Greens versus Greys is the game coming up today. It's another exciting one because, as I said, it's between 2 unbeaten teams. It's time now to join our commentators Estelle and Gamini Pereira as the 2 umpires make their way out to the middle.
Thank you, Roshan. Hello and welcome to the live action of the T20 League conducted by SLC. The 2 umpires today. It's a beautiful afternoon. Sun is breathing down on us, 30 degrees, and a lovely looking, one of the best in the business, Sinhalese Sports Club. The 2 umpires are there and they're already. And we say good afternoon to Estelle Vasudeva.
Good afternoon, Gamini, and good afternoon to all the viewers. Yes, we're here to see the 2 unbeaten sides compete. That's umpire Damit Sanjeeva on one end, and umpire Ravindra Vimalasiri the other. So they have a task on their hand to manage this game. So far, you should say the umpiring has been good in this competition. The Greens walk out after winning the toss and electing to bowl. They have a task on their hands because the Greys put on 192 in the previous game. So they'll be confident that they can get a big score once again.
Yeah, Steve, they've got some depth in their batting lineup, haven't they? The Greys. Nirusan Dikwal, Failed with the bat, along with very experienced Dinesh Chandimal walks out of the middle. Yeah, we saw a terrific knock from Nuwanidi Fernando, who actually plays here at SSC, so he knows a thing or two about this surface. But yeah, both sides, after winning the first game, obviously one is going to walk out today wearing that unbeaten tag, and the man who's picking the ball from the umpire, Chami Karanta, didn't he have a very good outing last time? ST runs with the bat, wickets with the ball in hand. So far, he's been the player of this tournament even after the first round.
Yeah, it was really good to watch, wasn't it? And we talk about how competitions like this are opportunities for players to really make their mark, and Chamika Karunaratne is certainly one who did in that previous game. But of course, few more matches left in the competition. He'll want to continue with both bat and ball. Dinesh Chandimal got a golden duck in the previous game, so another opportunity for the veteran to make a mark.
Yeah, incidentally, both these players are looking to find their way back into that T20 side, ST. So very important outing as far as those two batters are concerned. Once again, lovely looking Sinhalese Sports Club. Beautiful surface. Magnificent outfield. And Nuwan Tushar has got the ball in hand. He will bring the ball back into the left-hander, Nidoshan Dikwella, and he's ready. Umpire Vimalsri is ready, and he says play. Bit too straight on his pads. Normally when he is in form, Nidoshan Dikwella is very good around that pad, and yeah, it just shows that he's a bit more tentative these days, and half volley on the pads. Normally most of the left-handers are very good around that area. Loves that drop kick, loves those flicks, but yeah, I reckon Tushar got away with one.
Yeah, interesting point you bring up, Gamini, because Dikwella in form probably would have gone over the top for that delivery. Nevertheless, dot ball to start for Tushara.
Fuller this time, full toss. There is protection. Fine leg and third. Both are inside the circle. Deep square leg and deep point in place for the first over. Chandimal, like you mentioned, ST, golden duck last game, so he'll probably spend a couple of balls just having a look around, and yeah, Nuwan Tushara's stock ball will probably leave the right-hander's outside edge, and there is a slip in place, Rajapaksha. Conventional field, once again third and fine leg is inside. Very similar field to the right-hander Chandimal. Works off his hips, and his innings is underway.
It's not a bad start from Nuwan Tushara as well. We did see him going for plenty of runs in the previous game. Pathum Nissanka taking a liking to him. I think the key for Tushara would be not to become too predictable. He's not getting too much swing with the game starting at 1:30 p.m. So he's going to have to use his other skills. So Nissanka just waiting for the deliveries that were full and going after him. So he'll have to mix things up as he bowls to these two experienced batters, Dikwella and Chandimal.
We got a slight hold up. Yeah, one of those advertising boards. Yeah, the sun is breathing down on us, so maybe the glow from those boards, ST, is disturbing Dikwella. Once again, fuller length. Usually, Nuwan Tushara targets those pads, and because of the swing that he gets in towards the left-hander's pads, he brings those stumps into play. Like I mentioned, these days, Dikwella is not afraid to have a look at a couple of deliveries. Otherwise, he's a very blistering starter, isn't he? From the very first ball, he likes to feel bad on ball. So a couple of defensive shots to start at innings.
Quick single for Niroshan Dikwala. Just on his approach, I think another factor that you have to consider is that the Greys have basically 5 specialist batters in this lineup, and then they're supplemented by the all-rounders. So that would also play a part in these openers trying to be a bit more tentative, trying to stay at the crease as much as possible.
Yeah, interestingly, ST after that delivery, Niroshan Dikwala from the non-striker's end, just signalling to Chandimal that it's skidding through a little. It's a new surface. Maruf mentioned this looks good for around 170 runs, and once again fuller length. There was a noise, but the bat hit in the ground ever so slightly. That's where the noise was. Very good first over from Nuwan Tushara. None for 3, Greys. So this is what we've seen so far, and this is what to come. Blues versus Greens. Greens won by 4 wickets. Greys won by 24 runs the other day. So the 2 unbeaten teams are locking their heads together today. 3 more games before the grand final on the 16th ST.
Yeah, for the sake of the competition, I think you'd hope that the Blues can put on a good performance in the coming games just to make things a little more competitive. Of course, whoever wins this game will go top of the table and have a massive advantage of going through to the final.
Dushmantha Chamir from the combox end. Goes for a wild heave. 1 bounce into the 3rd fence. That's travelled a long way too. So we saw a very sedative Niroshan Dikwala in that first over ST, but he's not going to die wandering. There was a bit of width. Feet were in the same spot, but if you swing it hard.
Yeah, perhaps the fact that it was wider off the off stump may have been the reason why he went off. After that, Tushar, of course, much more disciplined in his line, just getting the ball onto his pads. This time, given a little bit of room, Dikwala goes after it.
Much more conventional drive on the offside. Brilliant hands from Dikwala. There is a fielder there. Keeps it down to 2. Good work in the deep. A good fielding partnership, you call it. It's an interesting field for Dikwala ST. There is a fly slip in place. There's 3rd inside the circle around 45 degrees. And there's a deep point. That's why that shot was cut off by that fielder there, Sadiru Samaravikrama. So 6 off the first 2 deliveries of Chamira. Enough bat on that one. That'll run away to the rope. Yes, it does. A miss hit, but lightning outfield ST. You're going to get plenty of value for your shots at SSE.
Yeah, not too convincing once again, just dragging it from the off stump onto the leg side. But end of the day, Dikwala will be happy. He's already got 10 runs in this over, 3 deliveries remaining.
Umpire Ravindra Vimala said his day job is a cop. Well, I'll tell you what, he would have needed that copper's helmet. Just evading him. He was a good player when he was in his younger days. ST still has those reflexes, and they're very quick. So 10 off the first 3. Nearly played it on. It was Dikwala. Shorter length this time from Dushmantha Chamir. Incidentally, these 2 are club mates, and Sometimes I'm a bit more reluctant to speak about that club because of Parvez Maroof, the next door neighbour. There is a debate that around who's best in the business when it comes to SSC and NCC. Yeah, so what I was trying to get at, ST, is that both these players will know a thing about each other, don't they? They have been playing for NCC for a very long time.
Once again, doesn't get all of it. Dikwala gets off the strike. So Dinesh Chandimal will face up to Dushmantha Chamira for the first time in this over.
Yeah, after a very quiet first over, 2 boundaries in this one already. 11. You could expect Chamira to go for some runs. Normally in T20 format, teams are looking to get wickets through his skill set. Once again, very strange feel. Third inside the circle, deep point. Hurried on to him. Dinesh Chandimal. Dot ball to finish the second over. GREYS, none for 14. So Nurin Fernando, that was a fantastic knock the other day. Charita Sri Lanka, he also from SSC, so both these batters will know a thing or two about the surface. Right on there at the top, Kusal Pereira got 2 starts. Tushar, right arm over the wicket. Yeah, gives himself room, looking to get outside the line of the delivery ST. Dangerous ploy since that the ball is darting towards his pads.
Bit of proactive thinking though from Dikwala. He was just allowing Nuwan Tushara to bowl to him in the previous over. Bit tentative this time. Moves outside the leg stump. Able to get bat on ball. Just on Nuwan Fernando, we saw him being the top run scorer of the competition so far. The way he paced that innings, I think, was the key to his success. He was going at about run a ball until he reached 40 to 45 runs. But then kicked on from there, ended up with a flourish to take the GREYS to 192.
Yeah, slower ball from Nuwan Tushar. GREYS dugout. Dikwala 14 of 10. Chandimal 1 of 4. The interesting comments from Parvez Maroof about the surface. Yeah, this looks good. He's got enough bounce, enough carry. Full toss well. Dinesh Chandimal of old would have dispatched that through mid-wicket for 4, but he'll be very disappointed to see that full toss go straight to mid-on.
You're just not able to get the middle of the bat once again, or the placement. Just hitting the toe of the bat. Might have been a bit of jarring the handle as well.
That's been picked up nicely. 1, 2 bounces. And Chandimal picks up his first boundary ST. That will calm his nerves somewhat. That was a very good shot.
Yeah, you just get the feeling that it had enough of playing defensively. He knows he can't waste too much time having a look at what's going on. Just clears his leg, goes over the top. Still don't feel like he really middled that ball, but he'll be happy with the result.
Yeah, that was the off cutter from Tushar. And he did grip on the surface a touch too. So that was a safe shot for Chandimal, going with the spin. 19 suddenly. That's a splendid shot. Oh, just awaits the fielder there. It didn't have the hang time, but it was travelling, wasn't it? It was pitched up short around that left shoulder, Chandimal. That's a very good shot. Getting his hands high was the key. Didn't try to hit it along the ground at any stage, but because of the speed, that was a good one.
A good attempt by the fielder in the deep as well. I think that's Lasit Cruzpule. Didn't have too far to move to his right, but Chandimal got enough bat on that he took it all the way.
65-yard boundary down there near that scoreboard. Didn't have the timing. He might need some chalk on that bat. That was off the cue. Dot ball to finish. 11 off. 25 for no loss after 3. Ishan Malinga had a terrific outing last time around. 4 for Akila Dhananjaya, Karunaratne, Sharnak and Fernando all got 3 wickets apiece so far of 2 games. Malinga might be able to add a bit more to those 4 wickets, ST, and like in that invasion where Maharup mentioned, he is giving the selectors to think about a thing or two.
Yeah, his variations were great, weren't they, in the last game? He used that bouncer well. He used the slow balls, the slow ball bouncers, kept the batters guessing as to what he was trying to do at all times.
Talking about slow balls, Shami Karunaratne was all over Kusal Janit Pereira in that first game with his slower balls, and starts with a slow one against Dikwella. Yeah, we mentioned in that first game 2ST, where Shami Karunaratne was one-dimensional in his game, early piece of his career, just steaming in, looking to bowl as quick as he can, and when he had the bat in hand, looking to swing it as hard as he could. But obviously, being time away from the national team has made some adjustments, hasn't he? He's matured a little bit and trying to be unpredictable as much as possible.
Yeah, that was what was most impressive about his performance in the last game, wasn't it? He took his time, he played the game on its merit. That's wide outside the leg stump. He's got some pad on it. Not the direction that Chamika Karunaratne would have wanted.
He definitely lost his radar then. Fine leg inside the circle. That's definitely not where he meant that ball to be. Dinesh Chandimal looking to heave it over mid-wicket or square leg. There is a fielder down there at square long leg, you could call it. Third and fine leg inside the circle. And there's a deep mid-wicket in place, so he'll be looking to target those stumps, Karunaratne. Pass me down, at least a couple here. It's a very quick outfield here at SSC. Current run rate 9.14. Suddenly, after a very quiet over ST, these two are starting to motor.
Yeah, that's exactly what they would have wanted after that quiet first over. Managed to find a couple of boundaries. Haven't been really convincing in terms of timing, but they've got the results that they've wanted.
Obviously, the field that has been set, you can expect few short a slower one from Karunaratne. There you are, into the pitch. This time straight to the fielder there, 1 run. Eight off, so already off the 4 deliveries, and Karunaratne looking to finish well. Both these players, ST, Dikwala and Chandimal, got a lot of pedigree and experience behind them, but they need good outings. They need not one. They need few games consistently to perform well if they need to get into that national team. And I think I saw an interview from Sanat Jayasuri, the head of the Brain Trust, said whoever is in form that will be picked to go to Zimbabwe. Nice to see, even though it's a weekday, there are some people to watch. Slower delivery, giving himself room. Wasn't off the middle of the bat, but it'll still have enough power to get to the fence. Another boundary in this over. Suddenly it's a very expensive one.
Yeah, just as we've been talking about Chamika Karunaratne singing his praises, hasn't found his direction in this over, has he? First that delivery wide off the leg stump this time. Another slower delivery. Dikwala makes some room. Gets it over the top of the off stump. So it's been a good start for the Greys. They'll be encouraged by this, particularly because they were able to get up to that 190 run mark in the previous game, despite not getting a good start.
Similar delivery, this time a leg cutter from Karunaratne. Missed time shot from Dikwala, but still gets him a single. 38 after 4. Trevin Matthews, a mystery bowler from the Greys. Picked up a couple of wickets, didn't he, in the first game? You can call it an off-break right-arm bowler, but yeah, he's got few variations under his belt. Carom balls, leg cutters, off-spinners. Wild heave, looking to go over mid-wicket. Misfield. Rajapaksha was very lucky that the batters were only able to get one there.
Trevin Matthew was the bowler that Kamindu Mendes went to in the previous game as well, when he needed that wicket, needed to make a breakthrough, and he delivered in his first over. So looking for much of the same from him today.
Straight back to Matthews. It'll be interesting to see ST how the spinners will operate on this surface. This is not a surface that will generate a lot of turn. Bowled him through the gate. Chandimal, not a lot of feet. Didn't drop his shoulder towards the ball either. Just looking to go downtown, looking to take the aerial route. Missed it completely, and there goes the first wicket for the Greys, and Matthews strikes in his first over.
Just as he did against the Blues, Matthew brought into the attack to make that breakthrough, and he is successful. Just played all over that. Dinesh Chandimal hasn't looked in the best of touch, and that shot proved it. So Matthew strikes. Chandimal goes for 14 of 13 deliveries.
$39 for 1. 39 for 1. Lahir Udara is the new batter at number 3. Right-hander. Another player from the NCC. I'll tell you what, ST, I think the selectors, the spectators, the coaches will be monitoring very closely about Trevin Matthews too in this competition. Gets off the mark in his first ball. Mahesh Dikshana and Matthews play very similar roles, don't they? They trusted with the first power play, trusted with the new ball, and very similar actions, very similar deliveries.
Yeah, they do look quite similar coming into ball. Traveen Matthew, of course, hasn't had any opportunities with the national squad. But a good performance here could spell different thing. Good shot by Niroshan Dikwala once again making room outside the off stump. Just clears his leg, gets it through the gap. That one he timed.
Yeah, he loves that shot, doesn't he? Giving himself room, looking to go through the line on the offside. There's not a lot of protection on that offside. 4 fielders inside the ring and mid-off. There's a long off, so plenty of real estate over the infield on the offside, and Dikwal makes full use of that one. Similar shot, but outside edge. Nuwan Tushara feeling at third inside the circle. Couldn't get across. So the boundary to finish the over. Very good one, although there was a wicket for Matthews. 10 off, 1 wicket for Matthews. GREYS 48 for 1 after 5. Correct.
48 for 1. 5 overs completed. Dikwal 28. By the batter on strike, Lahir Udara. Chamira gets it behind square leg. That's gone all the way for 6. The 50 is up. And that is a bold shot by Lahir Udara. Waited for it and whipped it off his hips. Timing was perfect. Placement was good as well. And welcome to Chamira at the start of his second over.
That brings up the 50 as well for the GREYS. This is a shot of a man who's in superb touch. Probably the line can be a bit towards your stump or the middle stump, but the length was perfect by Dushmantha. Good shot. Flat and hard.
Pace off that time, was looking to whip it away on the onside, pull it to mid-wicket. That's a good comeback by Dushmantha Chamira. I mean, this game, T20 cricket has evolved so much that the faster bowlers, because there was this thinking in the past. We'll come to that. Let's first take a look at Dinesh Chandimal's wicket. What do you think of this, Maha? This is young Matthews. He's been very impressive with the way he's been going forward with his career and his bowling.
The length was not there for Chandimal to go straight. If it had gone towards long on mid-wicket, would have been a better option since the length was slightly shorter. A flat bat would have been a better choice. Slow ball, picked it up early. Lahir Udara, he means business.
He certainly does. He's moved quickly. He's gone to 11 in quick time. Again, pace off. 58 for 1. The point I was trying to make when at the advent of T20 cricket, another look, you see how pace was off, he dragged it. I mean, there was this worry as to how the spinners are going to survive in this format. Faster bowlers would be looking to bowl with pace on rather than pace off. We were not talking about much skill then. But it's evolved so much, isn't it? It's turned on its head. swing and a miss that time, bit more pace, so completely turned it upside down.
Perfect reply by Dushmantha Chameera. Back of the length, plenty of bounce, bit of movement away from the right-hander. Certainly he has gone for 21 runs. It's just something that you don't see much with Dushmantha. He's quite consistent with whether it'll be the new ball or the older ball. But since Dikwella, Lairudara, Dushmantha Chameera have been playing cricket for a very, very long time, knows the weaknesses and the strengths, and when does the slow ball is loaded up, also the batsman would have an idea. So these are the advantages the batsmen do have over a bowler that they know.
Pays off. That's brilliantly bowled. That is brilliantly bowled indeed. Tell you what, this time they're running a bye, but that is very clever cricket. Lairudara couldn't preempt that. He gave himself room, looking to go away through the offside.
Good anticipation by Niroshan Dikwella. He waited till the ball passed the stumps in the striker's end. Kamil Mishara probably trying to be cheeky by having the batsman off guard for a run out. Beautifully bowled, slow ball just kept low. And the batsman's anticipation is excellent, running through by extra delivery. When it comes to bowling to a left-hander, I'm pretty sure Niroshan Dikwella, that the form he's been in 28 of 16, he'll be aiming for a 4 or a 6. The options, I think even a scoop is not a bad option with third man, fine leg both in the circle. Get underneath, scoop it over.
Last ball. Will it be pace on? Let's see. Pace off. Only a single, cramped him for room. A single to end the over. It is 59 for 1. The first 6 overs, 60 in fact for 1. Niroshan Dikwella has done himself actually no harm with the way he's batted. He's shown the selectors what he's capable of. Played some really innovative shots. This is Matthew. And starts off with a single, that first delivery of the over. In fact, this is clever. For a moment I thought it was only a single, but this is very, very good cricket. Was it Lairudara who was calling him through?
First and foremost, Cruz Pulle, that's lethargic. Until you pick up the ball and throw the ball to the bowler or the wicketkeeper, your job is not done. The communication and the understanding between Dikwella and Lairudara, as I said, been playing together for a long time. They just wink or just a signal and they're already through. Gets out the reverse sweep as well straight away. So I reckon Niroshan Dikwella will continue the way he's been playing, and possibly Lairudara just to make sure that he steadies the ship a little bit more. Still Nuwani Fernando and Charita Sri Lanka to come, the 2 half-centurions from the last game. So he's due batters back for the next 4 overs. I reckon 180 is a gettable.
That's good bowling. That's a precious dot. But just on the subject of Dikwella, 32 of 19. We talk about unorthodoxy in T20 cricket, whether it is bowling or batting. And I believe Niroshan Dikwella has all the ingredients to be that. The way he picks his gaps, the way he opens up areas, those scoops. As we call it, Dikwella things very effectively with the bat in hand.
It's in his DNA. Even in normal life, he's unpredictable, he's unorthodox.
Don't we all know that? He is very unorthodox. Proved effective, I'll tell you. Little chip over the top. That should give them at least 3 here, considering the way they have run. They're happy with 2. Didn't really push that second run hard, but little drop kick kind of shot over extra cover. But turning out to be a very good over, just 6 runs off the first 5 balls.
The boundaries are hard to come by when a bowler is bowling well. Best thing you could do is pick up the singles and turns into 2. This is a good over by Matthews, considering that the 2 set batters are out there. He bowls the over, just 7 runs to end the 7th over with GREYS on 67 for 1.
Right, we're going to see some leg spin in the form of Dushan Hemantha. Bowled very well in that last game. Loved the way he strangled the Blues batting with the way he bowled. He's now bowling at, I believe, at a good pace for a leg spinner. He used to start off a little bit slower, he used to be a little bit flighty, but very different now. Current rate, little over 9.5 runs an over. As you said, GREYS, they possess a very, very strong batting lineup.
I think it's time to buckle up now. Right arm leg spinner against Niroshan Dikwella. Pretty sure probably the first couple of deliveries Dushan Hemantha will dish out the orthodox leg spin. Won't be surprised as soon as Dikwella shows aggression, the googly will be the best option. And for the googly to counter-attack it, I think Dikwella plays the inside out and the reverse hit pretty well. So this is going to be a good battle. Dushan Hemantha against Dikwella and Lairudara.
If Dikwella is on strike, let me tell you, it's always a good battle because he makes it very interesting. Love watching the way he bats. We spoke about how unorthodox he is, the way he opens up areas, the reverse sweep, the little chips. I think if he can continue his consistent form, might be a very good addition to the Sri Lankan T20 side. So 2 singles of the first 2 deliveries. Dushan Hemantha will be pleased with the way he started.
As expected, the first ball, Dikwella tried to go big. And he will go again, that's for sure. Dushan Hemantha probably will be thinking of the option of the googly as well on top of his mark.
Chip over safe. Only a single. Good start to the over.
And certainly not taking Charmi Karunaratne's arm. Got a powerful arm. Lairudara was thinking of the second. As soon as he saw it's Charmika Karunaratne, straight away said no. Googly attempted. Beautifully done by Dushan.
Dikwella was in the way. Dushan Hemantha was desperate to try and stop that single. Bowled slower. Yeah, that was the attempted, that was the leg break. And there you are. In his way, it's no fault of Dikwella. Niroshan Dikwella was holding his ground. Single. Right, I think he read the wrong one. I'm just wondering whether it was a leg break or wrong one, but anyway, he was going for the reverse and did it well.
3 deliveries Niroshan Dikwella faced against Dushan Hemantha in this over. All 3 shots which his favourite is out. Inside out. First ball was a slog sweep, tried it. Second was an inside out, and third was a reverse. So he's definitely trying to attack. This is a good shot. Poor delivery by Dushan Hemantha. Till then it was a good over, 5 singles, spoils it with the boundary down the leg side. It's 76 for 1.
The skipper, ambidextrous Kamidu Mendis. He should be bowling off spin. Should go down as an ambidextrous, not a orthodox left arm spinner or an off spinner, because he could use both hands alternately when he bowls. Now he's going to bowl his off spin. Dickwella on strike. Follows him and he gets it fine. Now Niroshan Dickwella's ploy was to give himself room, and Kamindu Mendis followed him. And perfect execution by Dickwella.
Nothing wrong with the delivery, in my opinion. Kamindu Mendis did the right thing by following Niroshan Dickwella, who was trying to go over extra cover. Just one of those days where everything what Niroshan Dickwella tries, it becomes right or going his way. Turn. And this is the first time Kamindu Mendis in this tournament, Roshan, bringing himself. Last game, he just chose 5 bowlers: Karunaratna, Hemantha, Matthews, Tushara and Chamira bowled out their 20 overs. Today is the first time he himself is a 6th bowler.
Yeah, this previous delivery, this one a single, but the previous delivery just stopped a little bit. Bit of bounce and turn. Very lucky that Dickwella didn't play it with hard hands. Right, now we see the left arm spin. The left-handed version of Kamindu Mendis. As soon as the right-hander is on strike. And yeah, the point you made about he bowling. He too has good bowling options. A little chip. Oh, could have been trouble had he run through with it. So he can always be the 6th bowling option if he wants to.
I think since the pitch is on the slower side, and he believes that rather than giving pace to Dickwella and Lairudar, which they enjoy, take the pace off with bringing himself. This is smart captaincy. Is that outside edge? It is. Lairudar, it did not wait for the umpire's decision. Kamindu Mendis bringing himself. He strikes with a big wicket. With Lairudar with a 40 in the last game, he perishes trying to play a back cut.
Yep, this is clever bowling. That ball didn't turn but just went with the arm. Bit of bounce. And a good catch by the keeper. Standing up, sharp chance. He goes for 18 of 13. But the second wicket down for the Greys. They're 81 for 2. Nuanidu Fernando, a batter in form. Got a very fine 70 in the last game. Looked to be in excellent form. Played some lovely drives, exquisite, sumptuous shots. Comes in at a time where the Greys are looking comfortable. 81 for 2. He's got Niroshan Dickwella at the other end on 43 and looking good. And in the 9th over, going at 9 runs, little bit more than 9 runs an over, will allow him the time he needs, the few deliveries he may need to try and settle in. Last ball of the over. And straight away, that lovely stride out, looking for that punching drive, finds the fielder. 9 overs done, 81 for 2. Rest of the bowling quite decent. Kamindu Mendis, the wicket taker. And of course Matthews too has a wicket, 1 for 17. Kamindu Mendis a wicket in his very first over. So the 2 spinners, Tushan Hemantha, will continue. Dickwella on strike. Slower, and this time on the bounce. Ball slower, the leg break. He was going for that sweep. And just on the bounce to the man at backward square leg.
This is how Lairudara was dismissed. Good catch by Kamil Mishara. Thick outside edge on the rebound. Doesn't keep that much, Kamil. But certainly even in the last game he did a decent job, and today held on to a good catch. And coming to Mendes strike with his first over. Noni Fernando, man of the match from the last innings. It's about the continuation, isn't it? It's about how consistent you can be. Two is a call. I think they settle for just for single. This is where you show as a character how hungry you are for succeed when you're trying to make that breakthrough to the national side. Yes, he had a very good A-team tour, plenty of runs in Australia. It's all about runs in the end, isn't it?
And Australia is not a place where it's easy to score runs. Oh, that's friendly. I think Dick Weller will be disappointed. He will be disappointed because it was premeditated. It was a friendly, juicy full toss. The mid-wicket area was smiling. He could have eyed and gone over. But instead he opted to play the reverse, getting only a single.
That was a meat and a pie. If he had stayed, had a good base, he would have smashed it towards the scoreboard to the grass bank for a 6. The wrong one went all wrong for Dushan Hemantha, and quite lucky.
Nicely driven. Nice use of the feet. But this is again a good start to the over. Dushan Hemantha is just conceding singles and he wouldn't mind it at this stage. As a leg spinner, you expected to be aggressive, attacking, and doing that you will leak a few runs looking for wickets. Dikwala goes straight down the ground, on the bounce again. Chamika Karunaratne does well, only a single again.
It was a googly. No pace to work for Dikwala. And Dushan Hemantha is what he's giving the challenge to the batter is make your own pace. A leg spinner bowling it slow on a good length becomes really hard for the batter to make pace, get the elevation, and when you're targeting 6, it's not going to be easy. Shows all his experience using it for good effect, Dushan Hemantha. Single to end the 10th over, 87 for 2.
So GREYS 87 for 2 at the end of the halfway mark. They lost 2 wickets. The first to go was Dinesh Chandimal. He was castled by Trevin Matthew. And then Kamidu Mendes got the outside edge of Lahiru Udara. Those are the 2 wickets to fall. Dikwala has made 46 so far. And this is how the batting has gone about. Dikwala is still there on 46. I mean, he's just getting a start. Dinesh Chandimal and Lahirudar are the batters out. The bowling, Trevin Matthews and Kamindu Mendis getting a wicket apiece. This one, the Chamir has been on the expensive side. Apart from that, no real bowler has really troubled the GREYS batters. Afternoon, Estelle.
Good afternoon, Kosala. Yeah, it's been a decent performance with the ball so far from the Greens. Just as partnerships have been building, they managed to pick up a couple of wickets. But on the other hand, the GREYS also will be quite content with where they are. 87 for 2, 10 overs to go in this innings. Got Charita Sri Lanka, Ramesh Mendis, Chamindu Wickramasinghe to come. So bit of batting to come, bit of big hitters to come. So they'll want Nuanindu Fernando to perhaps play the type of knock he did in the previous game. Set that platform before they can go hard in the last few overs.
Yeah, if you looking at it, they will fancy 100 runs from this remaining 10 overs. So that's over 180. As long as they can keep the wickets intact, and as you quite correctly said, they do have some batting left and some good hitters. Good hard hitters of the cricket ball. Kamindu Mendis didn't bowl in the previous game, but he might feel that he wants to turn his arm around. Ambidextrous, as Roshan mentioned. Now his right arm off spin to the left-hander. But he's a master at that, isn't it? Estelle, Niroshan Dikwala, playing the sweep, the conventional, or the reverse, or the wrap. He's a master at.
He's always been good at using it to good effect. Here against Kamindu Mendis as well. Just on Mendis. Isn't it amazing that we've seen so much of him that it's almost become a norm that he can switch from left to right arm to the different batters that he bowls to.
Tap and run, good cricket. And the boundaries are drying up, and this is a decent over from Kamindu Mendis. Just the 3 runs coming off it. 90 on the board. Let's see what Dikwala has in mind. Down the track. They will look for 2, and they will come back for 2. Good cricket all around. Now the reason that Kamindu Mendis is going over the wicket to Dikwala is that he's not allowing him to get room and play that reverse or the sweeps. So that's why he's trying to create that angle for him.
Big appeal on that occasion. Niroshan Dikwala misses the sweep. So good over from Kamindu Mendis once again. Just 5 off that. The GREYS 92 for 2 after 11.
So Dushan Hemant will start a fresh over. We're into the 12th. This is something that we didn't see in the previous 2 days. We're seeing something today. I'll get another single. Is that we're seeing some turn off the surface, which we didn't see much on the previous 2 days.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Akila Dhananjaya was the only one to get a little bit of grip off the surface. For the spinners, a lot of spin overs we've seen so far in this competition. But as you rightly said, that over from Kamindu Mendis, a couple of deliveries just moving off the surface.
Now Dushan Hemant is a different type of a bowler. He will depend more on his wrong one, the top spinner. He doesn't. 50 for Niroshan Dikwala. Coming off 34 deliveries. Such a wonderful 6 boundaries. Look at that strike rate. That's good.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that. Started off scratchily, but he's managed to stick it in there stay at the crease. Ultimately rewarded with that half century.
There you go. It's very rare you would see Dickwella not play a reverse or a conventional sweep in an over against a spinner.
Yeah, and he's brought it out once again, hasn't he? The reverse on this occasion. Still, Kosala, the Greys would want to get at least a boundary every over. At a quiet 11th over now, just 4 runs off this Dushan Hemant over as well.
That's what we've been talking about. The turn that this surface is giving. The slower that you bowl, the more it grips and turns, and that's exactly what happened in that previous delivery. Dushan Hemant on this occasion. Of course, that must be close. Maybe a fraction outside the off stump. But the spinners are causing a few problems out there in the centre. 12 overs are done. The Greys are 97 for 2. So this is how Dickwella went about with his half century. Not the best of starts, but then start middling the ball well. He picked the slow deliveries very well. And he was not afraid to go inside out to the spinners. And Pawan Ratnayaka made a meal of that one. What really happened?
Yeah, he did look like he lost it in the clouds. He was just moving around, unsure of where the ball was coming from, but that should have been taken. It's Nuanidu Fernando who gets an opportunity. The top scorer from the previous game. Now, how much is that going to cost the Greens?
The Greens wouldn't mind the singles, but that should have been taken. Let's take a look at that again. Nuanidu Fernando was the batter. It was not the best of deliveries. It was short, but he didn't really come on to the bat, so he had to drag it in. But they wear these sunglasses for a reason, isn't it?
Yeah, he is wearing sunglasses, but he still didn't seem to pick up the ball. We just watch him. He's got his arm up and then just turns away as the ball reaches him. It's gone through his fingers.
Wow.
What a catch! What a catch! That is Travin Matthew. It's not Nuanidu, but it's the big man, Niroshan Dickwella. He took that on the full and he was trying to go over extra cover. Let's take a look at this again. Picked it up well, but that was a brilliant catch. He timed his jump perfectly, Esther.
Yeah, brilliantly taken by Travin Matthew. Niroshan Dickwella, his luck finally runs out, not able to clear the field, so he goes for 52 of 37 deliveries, 100 for 3 now the Greys.
So one left-hander been replaced by another, but this is the Sri Lankan White ball format skipper Charit Asalanka, who's walked out to the centre. He got a half century in the previous game, so he's a man in form. And he's up against Kamidu Mendis, the opposite skipper. Not only skipper, I think they played together during their school days as well.
Yeah, both hailing from Richmond College in Gaul. And of course, represented the Sri Lanka under-19s together as well. Just Charit Asalanka and Nuwanindu Fernando put on 122 in the previous game of just 72 deliveries. So this will be the big partnership for the Greys. This will be what they will want to see them through to the end of the innings. Hopefully, they will be able to replicate what they did against the Blues. So, a single for Charit Asalanka to end that over. The Greys 101 for 3 after 13.
Tushan Hemant will bowl out here, most probably. Yes. This is the fall of the third wicket. That is a very good catch. He timed that jump perfectly. One hand stretched out. Brilliant catch. Brilliant. None for 20, but I think he's done his job. He's not been among the wickets column, but he's bowled very tightly. Looking for 2. Cruz pull into it very quickly. He's another man who's short of runs at the moment. Lasith Cruz pull. Definitely love to get some runs on the board today. 102 for 3. This is good. Good all-round cricket.
Yeah, Hemanta hasn't been one of those wicket-taking options for the Greens, but managed to keep things quiet. Projected score now 163 for the Greys. With the ball turning a little bit, I wonder if they'll be happy with that type of total.
Well, more than the being happy with something around 160, we'll also think the fact that if the ball is starting to turn and grip a little bit, did they make the right decision by bowling first?
They do say that hindsight is 20/20, isn't it? Good running from Asalanka and Nuwanindu coming back for 2. This is another thing that they did well in the previous game, that partnership of 120 plus, running the singles, getting the 2s, and then finding that odd boundary.
How costly can Pawan Ratnak's miss be? Nuwanindu Fernando is a man with runs. That is a vile throw from the Shah Hemanta. He has 2 more balls in his spell. He's done a decent job, gone at 6 runs and over. In this context of the game, he'll take it. Again, let's look at the slowness of the pitch. It not really comes on for Charit Asalanka. He was into the shot much earlier. Last ball coming up. Again, finding the fielder down in the deep. They'll pick up another single. That will mark the end of the 14th. It's 106, 7 for 3. So Trevin Matthew comes back for his third over, 1 for 17. He will be definitely a key figure that the selectors will be looking at. He's done exceptionally well in the recent past. The Greys will need a big over here. They might want to bat till the 15th, and they might feel that try to get 12 runs and over from the remaining 5. That's another 60. Will get you to somewhere around 165 to 168 if they can do that. A section of the spectators who have come in to watch this game today, watch the Stars in action. Well bowled.
Yeah, the Greys will have to identify which bowler they want to really go after. Whether it's Trevin Matthew. Trevin Matthew is a guy who's picked up wickets early in the innings. Has been kind of that wicket-taking option. Kamila Mendes has turned to. Now with the ball gripping a little bit on the surface, they're going to have to make that decision. Who do they want to go after?
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff from Trevin Matthew. Followed Charita Sri Lanka on that occasion. He was looking for room. This has been a fantastic over. Just a single coming off it from the first 4. Another dot ball. This is excellent. This is excellent from Matthew.
Yeah, brilliant bowling from Trevin Matthew. Just not giving anything away to Charita Sri Lanka. This is how the pressure builds, isn't it? Sri Lanka's got 5 out of 10 deliveries. Last delivery of the over. But he plays it safe. Pushes it onto the leg side for a single. So good batting from Sri Lanka, not panicking despite the quiet over. Just 2 off that from Trevin Matthew. The Greys 109 for 3 after 15.
Dikwalla, Dinesh, Nairu Udara, the 3 batsmen out. Numanindu and Charit, fresh from the huge partnership couple of days before. It's a total different ball game and a total different attack to go up against. 109 for 3 after 15. 30 more deliveries. We still feel being joined by Gamini Perra in the combox. Gamini 160, 165. Though the pitch is on a slower side, you expect the batting side to take.
Yeah, hello, Maharoof. Yes, it'll be interesting, won't it? To the naked eye, you had a good look at the pitch. Maha, it looked everything right for batting, but we've seen few balls gripping off the surface, so 2 of the most experienced batters out there in the middle, and these 2 put up a very good partnership in that last game, so even they are struggling. 1-1-1 for 3. Yeah, at which point you just take off? It's what, less than 30 deliveries to go. They've reached that stage where now you have to go for that good old swing at everything, doesn't it?
I did say that best time to bat is with the new ball. The ball will skid onto the bat in the mid lowers. Probably the spinners will take over, but I didn't expect the ball to turn. Some of the deliveries for a T20 game was vicious. So this is something that Greys will be keeping a close eye on. They do have some good spinners in their ranks. That's a good shot. Man in good form down the track over the top of the bowler to break the shackles.
Yeah, scintillating shot, that one. Using his feet to get to the pitch of it. Everything right about that one. Just releasing his both wrists through the line. Yeah, that. I think we might see a lot of batters using that tactic, Maha, on this surface now that it's turning, using your feet quicker this time.
Looking at how Kamindra Mendis have captained this side is also impressive. Did not bowl a single over in the last game. Bowling his quota in this 2 for 21, very impressive. He's been very busy with his field settings, very proactive. A lot to like about Kamindra Mendis as a leader. Has to be a wide. Slowing it down. The previous one was full and straight, and this occasion plenty of air.
I think he was expecting the batter to charge him down the track, advancing. That's why he slowed and it was wider. Reverse hit. Straight to the fielder at point.
Right option. Left arm spinner. Bowling just outside the yaw stump. Batsman well set. To try and scoop it over third man or cover point was a good option. But unfortunately, lack of pace off the pitch. Couldn't get it. Has to be a wide again. It's the second wide in the over by Kamindra.
Yes, you can see his arm is dropping a touch there. There you are. Around that 10 o'clock mark where you normally use for that 10:30, 11-ish like. Miss hit into the gap, at least a couple. Oh, that's a brilliant throw, and he's been given out. Well, ticks all the boxes if you're a fielding coach. That one hand pick up. Matthews, who plucked one out of thin air previously, sends in a magnificent throw. Kamil Mishar had nothing to do, absolutely, just to take the bails off.
Can't do anything wrong today, Trevin Matthews. 3 overs, 19 for 1. This occasion came to the ball, sprinting in. One hand pick up. And a bullet-like throw just over the, or just under the ankle, and an easy decision for Ravinda Vimalasuri. Kamil Mishra did the right thing as well, doing the basics right by staying behind the stumps. Half century, and from the last game, dismisses for 18 of 20. It's 119 for 4. Into the all-rounders we go now. Ramesh Menon is at number 6 for the GREYS. Chamud Vikram Singh, the other all-rounder in the side. Probably right-hand, left-hand combination in the middle is the way forward for the GREYS. Trevin Matthews is going to bowl his last over. Very impressive with his last 4 dot deliveries against Charita Sri Lanka. It starts off with a single.
120 for 4 Maha, 23 legitimate deliveries left. This was the last wicket. Yeah, have a look at this piece of fielding from Trevin Matthews. Fernando did the right thing, put in the dive, but even his long levers and the dive could not save him. That was a brilliant throw. Ramesh Mendis gets off. The mark with a single. Oh, that's very good running. Charita Sri Lanka. Yeah, take your hats off for him. That's very nicely played. Wade is shot nicely into the gap. Sri Lanka knew exactly what his partner was trying to do.
Running with the stroke. Trevin Matthews, his pace is something that definitely to keep an eye on. Going deep into the tournament, he doesn't believe in giving the ball a bit of air, a bit of flight. He just fires it in, and most importantly, though he's fired in, the length is not the hitting arc. Some hitters love it when the spinners are bowling quick, when it's on a fuller length. But with Trevin Matthews, what he does really well, is the length. Just like that. On that particular length against the left hand is not easy.
And also, Maha, the speed that he operates at times doesn't give you a lot of time for you to advance down, do you? Because he bowls around the 100 k's per hour. Now, I just want to ask you, in a situation like this, when you are out there in the middle as a batter, how do you really fathom out? How do you gauge that how many runs is enough for an innings? We've seen some turn, full toss, slower. Mendes just gets one off it. Obviously, Sri Lanka is one of the most experienced batters in the country, for that matter, when it comes to white ball. So, what is now? Current run rate 7.43. So, yeah, 150 to 160 perhaps.
It's also important communication from the pitch to the dressing room. We usually see from dressing room to the pitch the communication, but how exactly the pitch is behaving, the captain in the middle can send a message back, and you can probably look at the score twice. 126 for 4, and Trevin Matthews finishes his spell 1 for 26. Looks like Nuwan Tushar to finish off proceedings for the Greens. Bowled couple of overs with the new ball. Bowled well against Dickwell and Chandimal. Got some swing, predominantly bowling full. And against Charita Sri Lanka, he'll have his work cut out, that's for sure. One area that he has to stay away from Charita Sri Lanka is that the good length deliveries. On a length, be slow ball or the length delivery with pace, where Charita Sri Lanka can line you up towards mid-wicket. That's one area Tushar got to be mindful of. In the air, first ball of his new spell, and takes it. Reverse cup, and Trevin Matthews, can you keep him out of the game? Probably not. 4 overs, a run out, now a catch.
Magnificent piece of fielding once again. That had a lot of hang time. If you had a boundary line up in there, that would have been 6. But look at this for technique. If you're watching at home, any youngster, how to take a catch, the Australian method, Australian style, reverse cup, perfect. Watching the ball all the way to the hands.
Second catch of the innings, took a blinder. First and second was a safe one. 12 of 17, Charita Sri Lanka dismisses, 126 for 5. The 2 all-rounders in the middle for the Greys. One a spinning all-rounder. He's been joined by seaming all-rounder, Chamindu Wickramasinghe. He can hit the ball hard, but probably take a couple of deliveries to get used to the pace. He's up against Nuwan Tushar. In these conditions, he's a handful, isn't he? And looking at how the pitch is behaving simply after the power play, won't be surprised, Gamini. The Greens come out to bat. In the power play, they will be wanting to go hammer and tongs and go big. Try and get to 55, 60, try and ease down the score. The middle overs have that leverage. No ball being called by the umpire. It's going to be a free hit for Ramesh Mendes. This is criminal.
Yeah, wouldn't have asked for a better situation to get a free hit here. Ramesh Mendes, just early in his innings. Yeah, it's interesting what you said, Maha. I feel that this pitch is holding up a touch. From what we've seen, the dismissals we've seen so far, even that last one, Charita Sri Lanka, I know it's an off-cutter pulled by Nuwan Tushar, but yeah, like you said, the tactics will play a big part. That new ball they will try and use to take as many runs off that new ball, particularly in those first 6 overs.
Ooh, Quarter of his feet is inside. I think the umpire got it wrong. Very unlucky in Tushara. Free hit. Good Yorker. Right on the money. That's we've seen over the years. Tushara, never with the older ball. He just bowls Yorkers for fun. Got to be said, umpire got it wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely it wasn't anything to do with the field restrictions. There were 4 fielders inside the ring. That was Charita Sri Lanka. Yeah, the moment he hit it up in there, he knew he was in trouble. And especially when you see this man under the ball these days. Trevin Matthews. Oh, just beyond those tram lines, the blue ones. So no ball and a wide. 8 ball over already.
A touch and go. I thought the umpire got it spot on this time. Right on the line. There has to be a wide. The line is quite clear. The attack is going to be outside the off stump since 6 fielders in the offside. If Chaminda Wickramasinghe can counter it by batting outside the off stump, that's something the bowler will not like it at all. Shot. Oh, extra cover. Massive gap between long off and sweeper cover. Just like the first game. Chaminda Wickramasinghe perishes. Beg your pardon. Crashes. Oh, extra cover for a boundary.
That was a magnificent hit, wasn't it? Pitched up around that off stump. Just the second delivery he faced. It's amazing what a modern day wide ball cricketer can do these days. As he come in, you get a slight opportunity, and the skill set that this fella has, it's amazing. He's a magnificent striker, the cricket ball, and very handy player to have in your T20 team, and that is why.
It almost looks like he came out of the nets straight away. Couple of sighters and over extra cover. Flat and hard. I don't think Tushara bowled a bad delivery there. The line was right since the 6 fielders in the offside. Probably, if I have to be critical, probably the length was about 6 to 8 inches short, and that's good enough for a batter of the class of Chaminda Wickramasinghe. Slow ball. Has the field in place. Pawan Ratnayaka. That's the fielding.
Yeah, this guy can be fairly lethal in the back end of the innings. Chaminda Wickramasinghe. Ramesh Mendis, suddenly his duty changes a little bit because Wickramasinghe is a very powerful striker. So his responsibility now is to get Wickramasinghe to face as many deliveries as he could.
Hitting areas for Ramesh Mendis. Long on, mid-wicket, ball protected. Probably a scoop. Not a bad option with fine leg in the circle. What is it going to be?
No!
Another no ball. Ooh, the replay will be interesting. Umpire got it wrong for the first time. But certainly, that was a good delivery, got to be said, but not the no ball.
Yeah, the second time in this over. First time he was fairly unlucky, I thought, but unsighted by the non-striker's front pad.
Yeah, not sure, not clear at all. The benefit of the doubt, we have to give it to the umpire. Here comes the free hit. Field remains the same for the left-hander. 6 fielders in the offside. Slow ball bouncer, brilliantly done. That's the second time in this innings, or in this over, the free hit. Tushara has bowled a brilliant one.
Yeah, I think you could have guessed that from a mile away, that he was going to take pace off against Wickramasinghe. Yeah, nicely done. Talk about keepers, Maha. I know that you're part of the brain trust in the club NCC. He doesn't keep much, does he, Kamil Mishra? But he took a magnificent stomping in that first game down the leg side, and he took a brilliant catch today. So whoever has trusted to get his to wear his gloves have been paid off.
Kamil Mishra reminds me a lot of T.M. Dilshan. Can keep, can bowl, brilliant fielder, very good batter. Multiple sports, played rugby well, plays football well. That's T.M. Dilshan for you. So a lot to like about when it comes to Kamil Mishra in any side. Another slow delivery. Pawan Ratnayaka, the fielder. Ramesh Mendes trying to push Chamindu Wickramasinghe's second run. There was absolutely no chance. 18 overs done. It's 138 for 5. Expensive in his first spell, Dushmantha Chamira. 2 overs for 22. I'll bowl the penultimate over. 19th. Expect plenty of slow deliveries. Got 2 different slow deliveries. For the left hand, he'll probably be trusting the off cutter into the pitch. Against Ramesh Mendes, probably the other way around, the leg cutter. And top of it, with pace, a good Yorker is what Dushmantha Chamira is all about. Similar field to Nuwan Tushara. 6 fielders in the offside. Lovely. Good start. Hint of reverse swing, bottom edge, and a dot delivery.
Yeah, deep third. Very fine fielder inside the circle on the offside, around 30-degree angle, and there's a deep point. So you'll probably be expecting that ball to be full and wide, Maha. We all know that Wickramasinghe is a very strong player on the onside. So tactically and technically, they've implemented plan for Wickramasinghe.
Tactically, I don't think Chamindu Wickramasinghe has got it right. Still, he's batting middle and off. I like to see him go outside the yaw stump and try and put the pressure back on the bowler, because the tram line is not that far. Now, that's something that in the future, Chamindu Wickramasinghe, everyone knows that he's a strong leg side batter. The more he plays cricket in the international arena, he's going to be found out that he's a batsman that the bowler has to be outside the yaw stump to counter it, at least a foot outside. I'm talking from a bowler's perspective. If I'm bowling at Chamindu Wickramasinghe and if I find him outside the yaw stump, that's even more pressure to get it right. Because you miss the length or miss the line, he still has the power to go extra cover, too long off, and you miss the length, you go mid wicket or long on. Leg cutter. 2 is the call by Ramesh. Should be just a single. Very good fielding by Sadir Samara Vikram at long on.
Yeah, back on that point, Maha, you really cannot be predictable at this level in T20 format, can you? If you bowl a batter like Niroshan Dikwala to a very similar field, you'll see him skimming across the crease and trying to scoop it to fine leg, trying to be unpredictable and give something for the bowler to think. But Wickramasinghe, he's a bit one-dimensional in that regard. There you are. He tried that, didn't he? They've heard that, me obviously, but picks up just the one.
I'll enjoy bowling to if a batsman like Niroshan Dikwala is at the strikers end, because it's all over. I hate when a batsman is so steady in his stance, covering all the stumps, and strong down the ground or with the short ball. Rather, a batsman just moving around too much. That's almost like not having a good base to strike. So I'll probably enjoy bowling to players like Dikwala and all these players like to play cheeky shots. So bowling for players like Dasun Shanaka, the Kyron Pollards, who's having a good base, is tough work. Beautifully done. Ramesh Mendes wants a wide. That's about a couple of inches inside the tram lines.
And also adds all to that matter, Maha. See, to keep an eye on your back leg. There you are. Completely misjudged, Ramesh Mendes. Nice to see Dushmantha Chamira. He's getting all his tactics right, and not only that, he's landing where he wants.
Third slow delivery loading up. It is. Picks up the slow ball and goes over mid wicket. That's Ramesh Mendes' favourite area. The slog sweep finishes off with a maximum 9 runs from that over. Nuantulash Tushara will finish off. 1 for 26. Last ball of the previous over. Ramesh Mendis picked up the slow ball early and he dispatches it over mid-wicket. And the Greens, the Greys will be hoping couple more.
Yeah, that base that you were talking about, still head was towards the ball. That was a monstrous hit. Up to those hills. Well, Nuwan Tushara to bowl the final over of this innings. 147 for 5. Can they come back for the second? I think Mendes will be happy to keep strike.
The fielding side have been penalised with 5 fielders in the circle. That's because of probably the over rate. That 4 fielders in the offside, 1 in the leg side. We didn't get a signal, to be honest. I just picked up that there was 5 fielders in the circle, unless Kamindu Mendes got it wrong by having 5 fielders in the circle. Looking at how the field's been set for the right-hander, that's a short third, short cover point, extra cover mid-off and a fine leg. Yeah, the fielding side have been penalised for a slow over rate by having to bowl the 20th over with only 4 fielders outside the circle. Oh, unlucky. Nuwan Tushara very unlucky.
Yeah, interesting point that you picked up, Maha. 5 fielders. 3 of them inside the ring. Short, fine leg, third and a point. Boundary riders are deep extra cover. Mid-off inside. So is extra cover. 3 fielders on the onside. Mid-wicket and square leg and long on.
Interestingly, Nuwan Tushara holding the ball cross seam. Why would you do that when you getting some reverse swing? When we saw Dushman the Chamira getting some. Oh, that's called a wide. Probably down the leg side. Nuwan Tushara is having a conversation with the umpire, but he's taking nothing away.
Yeah,
Come on, Gamini Perra.
Yeah, you are from that fast bowlers club, aren't you? If I'm the batsman's club, that could be a wide.
Brings up the 150, Gamini Perra. Good call. I agree with you. Ramesh Mendis just trying to scoop it over finally with lack of pace. I think it's better off having a good base and swinging through the line towards mid-wicket long on. Shot. Direct hit would have been a goner.
Yeah, good cricket all round. Into the block hole. Mendes looking to meet the ball early. Didn't get the whole of it, but nice piece of fielding from Samar Vikram. Only thing that was missing was the direct hit. Well backed up too.
Samara Vikram for a wicket keeper. He's quite good in the field, isn't he? Good arm, comes to the ball very quickly, spins in. Good base when he fields. 6 fielders in the offside. The attack continues for Chamindu Wickramasinghe. Just contemplating whether to have extra cover to save the boundary or in the circle. Remember, only 4 fielders allowed outside the circle. 3 at the moment in the offside. And they're bringing in the mid-wicket fielder. So that means only 1 field outside circle in the leg side. That's at long on. Mid-wicket, fine leg, both in the circle. And now, looking at Chamindu Wickramasinghe's stance, he's covering the off stump. He's targeting the mid-wicket area. Top edge. Banu Rajapaksha at short third man. He goes around and precedes a boundary. Unlucky Nuwan Tushara.
Yeah, he's been unlucky on few occasions in this over. Twice being called wide with minimum margins, and Rajapaksa obviously not the quickest these days, is he? Yeah, that could have been easily be a catch too. Yeah, not where he intended, but he'll take that 4. Tushara is very unlucky, like you mentioned, Maha. Some wide calls, and that would have been easily the other way around. A wicket for his name. Both batters 14 apiece.
Mid-wicket drops back. Deep extra cover comes in. Watch out for the slow ball. It is a slow ball. In the air. Extra cover says mine. And that's a third catch for young Trevin Matthews to go with a brilliant spell and a run out.
Yeah, magnificent day for Matthews. He's putting in a clinic, isn't he? 3 catches, run out. Yeah, you might consider sending him in opening batting too. Once again, slow delivery, top edge. And have a look at this technique of catching from Trevin Matthews. Everything right about that one. So Vikram Singh goes for 14 off 11, 155 for 6.
Right, couple of deliveries more. Can Vijaykanth, VS Kant use the long handle for good effect? It's all about have a good pace, Ramani Perera. Swing to the hills. If it's in Kandy, at the SSC, swing to the dressing rooms or the cricket board.
Yeah, the good old saying, swing and hope for the best. These are... Yeah, he's not mugged with the bat, is he, Vijay guy? He can certainly strike a real ball. Fall into the all-rounder category these days, the bowling all-rounders. Once again, pace off from Nuwan Tishara. Well, it had the legs to reach the rope. Vijaykanth, a good result for him. A boundary off the first ball.
A thick inside edge, not where Vijaykanth, VS Kant hoped for. He was trying to aim towards probably mid-wicket long on. The lack of pace off the pitch. They dragged the ball towards square leg. Doesn't matter how it comes, says the GREYS. Can he finish with a flourish? We said 170 is a par score, though the pitch is on the slower side. Still, I feel the GREYS have mustered a decent score. Certainly defendable, looking at how the pitch has behaved. Here comes the last ball. Finishes with a perfect Yorker. Probably go for a boundary. Does. Unlucky Nuwan Tushar is very expensive in today's game. 4 overs, 2 for 42. There was a no ball call, which was, we thought all foot was right inside in this year in the box. But nevertheless, GREYS, after being put into bat, mustered a decent score.
Yeah, I think it will be a very competitive total. 163, just over 8 runs per over. Like you mentioned, VS Kant, 2 boundaries off the 2 deliveries he faced, and it's a very good result for him. Moha, I'll tell you what, game on here, I thought for a moment that GREYS were not going to get up to 150 at that one point, but magnificent last over as far as the GREYS are concerned. On a very nice afternoon here at Sinhalese Sports Club. GREYS were put into bat first. They needed some spark in the early piece, and Dikwella provided that. 52 of 37. Double figures for every single batter from that point. But Vijaykanth, 8 of 2. So 163 competitive.
The bowling card for the green 6 bowlers being used. Kamida Mendes was very impressive. Bowling his quarter of 4 overs. Nuwan Tushar, expensive side, as well as Dushmantha Chamira. Chami Karunatha, surprisingly, just the 1 over. Trevin Matthews, too, putting the brakes on the run rate, as well as Dushan Hemantha. Relatively, they were quite happy with the effort. 163 for 6. If before the game had started, after they won the toss, to feel if you had asked Kamida Mendes what sort of a score, he would have said 170. So that's a decent effort with the ball and in the field for the Greens.
So some of the highlights from the batting perspective of GREYS. Niroshan Dikwella along with very experienced Chandimal opened the batting. Shamir, first over, that was the second over of the innings, went for 2 fours in consecutive deliveries. Nearly took Vimalasuri's head off. And then there was some, that was brilliantly hit. Dinesh Chandimal using the speed Full leg buys there. Spliced it over cover. First wicket, Matthews going through the gate of Chandimal. Oh, he'll be featuring in this highlight package many times, Matthews. Bowled well, unlucky there. Lovely pick-up shot. Over square leg and deft touch.
Niroshan Dikwala carried his own merry way, being unorthodox. That was Lai Rudar being dismissed by Kamindu Mendis in his very first over. Good catch by Kamal Mishara off the rebound. And walked in Nonidi Fernando, the man in form. That brought Niroshan Dikwala his half century, a well made one. 52 opening the batting, just what the doctor ordered when it comes to Dikwala personally and as a team. A brilliant catch by Trevin Matthews. One hand, it was a blinder. If it passed him, would have gone for a boundary. Couple of good shots from Nundi Fernando. Unfortunately, could not going for the second run. Taking on Trevin Matthews' arm, he was run out by Kamil Mishara. Took the Grails off, and easy decision for Abhinay. Remember, there's no third umpire in the league stages of this competition. Charita Sri Lanka skied one. Again, you can't keep that man away. Trevin Matthews takes a very good catch. Chamudu Wickramasinghe, a couple of lusty blows through the offside. Slow ball picked early by Ramesh Mendis into the grass banks. And Nuwan Tushar, the last over was very expensive. Top edge meant for a boundary over the top of third man where Banu Raja Paksha couldn't get to it. Trevin Matthews again, that's his third catch in the innings to dismiss Chamudu Wickramasinghe of a slower delivery. In came V.S. Khan, the first ball, thick inside edge to fine leg. And the last ball was almost a perfect Yorker. Again, an inside edge, thick. Went to the fine leg for a boundary to end the GREYS innings on 163 in their 20 overs. Right, when the Greens come out to bat, they got to make 164 in the allotted 120 deliveries. We'll be back shortly with the chase.
It's the SLC T20 League 2025, and we are live at the Sinhalese Sports Club grounds. It is the Greys versus the Greens, and it was a very, very creditable performance by the Greys, making 163 in their allotted 20 overs. And that's a look at the card. 163 for 6. Dick Wellman was very good at the top. Starts for the rest of the batters. Nobody really making anything big, but good enough to get to that 160 plus score for the Greys. As far as the bowling was concerned for the Greens, 6 bowlers used, 2 wickets to Kamidou Mendis. Trevin Matthews having a dream day. A run out, 3 catches and 1 for 26, and one Tushara at the top. Went for some runs but had 2 for 42. So we are all set and ready now for the chase by the Greys. 163 for 6. The umpires are out there in the middle. The Greens openers should be coming out. You already see the Greys out at the boundary. We should see the huddle very soon. As I say, a very good afternoon to Kosala Suresh Chandra.
Good afternoon, Roshan, and good afternoon to everybody watching this live coverage. As Roshan mentioned, 164 is the target that the Greens have to make. Wouldn't be an easy target to get, because we saw the ball turning, gripping, and the wicket getting a little slower. The moment the spinners are bowling slow, it is really hard. The ball is not really coming on. So it's going to be a challenge. The Greens have the batters in them to do it, but it's going to be a challenge, because don't forget that the Greys do possess some very good spinners in Theekshana, Viyaskant and Charita Salanka.
Right, we see the huddle at the moment. The final bit of final few words by the captain and maybe a senior player. Just a few words of motivation. Charita Salanka will lead his troops onto the field. It's an experienced side, as you said. They're well served in the spin department and also experienced in the pace department. Binura Fernando, Ishan Malinga, they're more than useful in terms of seam bowling. And don't forget, they were instrumental in their win against the Blues, with Binura Fernando getting 3 wickets and Ishan Malinga getting 4. Right, here are the openers. Kamil Mishara and Lasith Cruzpulle. Explosive Lasith Cruzpulle hasn't really got off in this tournament. Kamil Mishara, we've seen glimpses of what he could do, but tell you what, the Greens need a very good and a solid start here.
The power play will be key. How much they get on this and how many wickets they lose, that will be the point going forward. Now you can see straight away the Greys starting off with spin. Mahesh Theekshana is going to start the duties from the com box end. That's what they need. 164 from 120. The required run rate starting is 8.20 rather, and the moment that creeps beyond 10, then the panic button starts to push on.
Well, it doesn't look a frightening ask, because if you look at runs versus balls on paper, it doesn't look difficult. It looks very gettable, but it's a completely different ball game out in the middle. We've spoken about how the surfaces look to take a little bit of turn, some grip. So Theekshana will start off. That this is his customary role, where he starts off with the new ball. Very comfortable in the power plays with the newish ball, where he not just creates those mystery deliveries, but he also gets a little bit of movement in there, swings it a little bit. Very handy indeed. Here he comes for the first delivery, Mahesh Theekshana. And that's what I'm talking about. You see that inward movement back into the right hander. What is good about Mahesh Theekshana is he's not just that mystery bowler who bowls at the high 90s to the low 100s, but he's also someone who can swing that delivery.
Looking at it, people might feel that he bowled an off break. No, it's more than the off break. It is the ball that he brings it in. Like, that's his speciality, as Roshan quite correctly mentioned. Now, this is another youngster who has been looking good in whatever opportunities he's got, but he needs to prove himself more.
Left-hander on strike, short third and short fine in the circle. That's the one that comes in with the arm. Now you could see how Kamil Mishara is rushed with that shot. Now Dick Wellman standing up, spinner bowling. As a batter, your mentality will be quite different, but I'm sure the batters are quite attuned to it. Don't expect a spinner running in and bowl that quickly and surprise you. Slower delivery, cleverly bowled, cleverly bowled. Talking about experience, the first 3 deliveries tells you that.
Excellent start from Mahesh Dikshana. This is what he does very well, isn't it? Vary his pace. His release points are different, and he really gives the batter to think a lot.
Long off out with the left-hander on strike. Little chip over the top. That will run away to the boundary. That will make Kamil Mishra good. That will get the greens moving. They needed that. Can't afford to be tied down by a bowler. Mahesh Dikshana can be difficult, but they need to get after him.
There you go. Little bit of width on offer, and Kamil Mishra clearing the infield. Was not afraid to go over the top. This time finds a fielder. He would be disappointed in that. He should have put that one away.
Good fielding. That's Viaskant at point. That was a poor delivery. Short and wide. Nobody behind point on the offside. That was 4. In the gap, that was 4. Kamil Mishra latched onto it. Foot either side of the fielder. That was 4. Last ball of the over. Good fielding again. Good fielding. 5 runs of the first over. The Greens 5 without loss.
So here we go. Binura Fernando, a specialized or a specialist T20 bowler, nicknamed Ragama Rambo. That's the name's got registered, isn't it?
Yes, it has. Well, to start with, he had that headband, so in the days of Rambo, that was his trademark. So he continues to have that. Tall lad, very experienced, and the good thing about him is, I don't want to spoil it for him, but he's braved all the injuries. We'll talk about it. Straight away, a bit of movement back into the right-hander, but it goes away to the mid-wicket boundary. That is Lasith Cruz-Pulle. He'll surprise you with his shot making. That was brilliantly done.
Nothing wrong with that delivery, but look at that shot. More or less a pick-up hit. And clearing that mid-wicket fielder. Lasith Cruz-Pulle. He's not afraid to go for his shots. Anything is in his zone, he will definitely take you on. Let's see what Binura does. Most probably pays off in the next one. Better length. Oh, chance of a run out. A direct hit might have had Kamil Mishra in trouble. Hopefully we'll have a look at that again.
Back of a length, pushing him onto the back foot. Now the good thing about, had that hit, he would have been in trouble, but if you look at Binura, he bowls with the left hand, but he can also throw with the right. So he's quite strong with both hands, though he's used to bowling with his left hand. That delivery in the air, down to mid-wicket, taken in the mid-wicket, on the mid-wicket boundary. And that is Lahiru Dara. Binura Fernando pace off into the pitch. Lasith Cruz-Pulle not timing it. And I'm afraid Cruz-Pulle has to take that long walk back, and the Greens have lost their first wicket.
So Cruz-Pulle's form continues. He's not getting him on the runs. That again, back of the length. The shot was on. They put a fielder down in the deep after that first delivery. And a very good catch by Lahiru Dara, because the sun was coming into his face, but he judged it very well and made sure that he holds on. Lasith Cruz-Pulle departs for 14.
Bhanuka Rajapaksa comes out. He's got a role to play here. Out for Lasith Kruspule, the batter, dismissed. 9 for 1. Kruspule is just scoring 5. Was looking to go over the top. I thought he was done by maybe the slow delivery into the pitch. There wasn't much pace to deal with, but outstanding catch by Lahiru Dara. I think he misjudged it and eventually held on to it. That was a fantastic catch. Now a slip in with Rajapaksa on strike. Backward point on the boundary. Backward squalling out. Short fine leg in the circle. From over the wicket. Rajapaksa on strike. Straight away Bindu Fernando. That's his strength. See, I was talking about he going through a phase where he's not been troubled by injuries. He used to break down quite regularly, and this is a look at that last wicket. This is that short arm jab down to deep mid wicket, but you need to keep an eye on the fielder. Just look at the way he catches it. Outstanding. That was travelling. That was travelling. That was a very good catch. So just to complete after this ball. Oh, bold. What a delivery. What a delivery. A peach. Completely did the left-hander. Outstanding stuff.
A perfect left-armer's delivery to a left-hander. Pitching in, coming in with the swing, pitching and then taking away on the offside. Beautifully done. It was a too good delivery that he didn't find the outside edge of Bhanuka Rajapaksa.
So Bindu Fernando used to be injured quite regularly in the past, but thankfully he's overcome that and finishes the over with a single. And he also gets a wicket in the over. 2 overs done. 10 for 1. Continue. It's a very good combination opening the bowling for the GREYS. Experienced, variety there. And Tikshana is a bag of tricks as a bowler. He'll mix it up, he'll change his pace. Bindu Fernando on the other hand, very different. Pace off, pace on, plays with the length. Always challenging when you're up against an opening combination such as this. Tikshana continues. Slip in. At the moment, Rajapaksa is quite intent in knocking the ball into gaps. Now that asking rate. If you keep an eye out for the runs versus balls, 153 of 107. Now what the Greens would want to see is that gap widening. They'll want to keep it within striking distance. So with the first 2 overs, it has started to widen a little bit. Again, not in control, only a single.
This is a crucial over where the Greens are concerned. 2 left-handers in. We've got a deep mid-wicket out in the boundary for Mahesh Tikshana, and the other is a long off. Let's see what he has for Bhanuka Rajapaksa. I'm sure he's going to bring this one in. Oh, that would have been missing leg, but that was the intent. He was going to bowl it into Bhanuka Rajapaksa, depriving him of room to play, because you know that Rajapaksa loves room. Good battle here. This will be a good battle between Bhanuka and Mahesh Tikshana.
Twelve for 1. Runs not coming as easily as the Greens would have liked to. That's because at the moment, well, this is good bowling. I say that because it's the power plays that is happening, and in the power plays the bowlers are not letting those boundaries being scored and pushing the batters to do singles. Clever bowling.
Experience counts He's played around the globe, played for Sri Lanka. He's played with the best of the best. So he'll use all that experience in this tournament.
Run rate under 5 runs at the moment. So he's got that ring of fielders on the offside and he's looking to bowl wicket to the left-hander. He's varying his pace. That was slower. And just not letting Kamil Mishara extend his arms. He's bowling wicket to wicket, tempting him if possible to go across the line. This time goes over the top. That's safe and that's 4. Gave himself room. For a moment I thought it was a bit premeditated. End of the over. It is 17 for 1. $17 for 1. So we're going to have spin from both ends. This might be an indication as to the state of play in terms of the surface. Bringing on the spinners quite early in the power plays. Ramesh Mendis coming on to over number 4. Pedro Fernando just bowled the solitary over, and I think Ramesh Mendis has remodeled his action. Bowls a little bit more side on. And I also believe that the length he bowls, which is slightly back of a length, which is almost perfect when it comes to T20 cricket. May not be the right length if you're playing the red ball game, but for this, but that's not the start he wants. That is not the start he wants. It's a boundary. That was a drag down. That was a poor delivery.
Not the best of starts for Ramesh Mendis, but Bhanuka Rajapaksa will take it. He was looking for room, and that is exactly what he wanted. He backed away and placed it perfectly between that point and third man fielders. It was 4 the moment it got past that gap.
Poor bowling. Not a great start. Ramesh Mendis needs to settle down, so he's got those fielders still on the offside. Again, just a touch short. They'll come back for 2. This is good running. Good effort on the part of the captain, but good start to the over for the Greens. They've got 6 of the first 2.
The length. It's the length that Ramesh Mendis has not got right here at the moment. He's a little bit far too short. Rajapaksa got that to his liking. And again, he beats the 2 fielders at cover and extra cover. That's another boundary for Bhanuka Rajapaksa. This is proving to be a very expensive over from Ramesh Mendis.
10 of the first 3. 3 drag downs. That was again a rank long hop. Well, would have been an outstanding catch at extra cover. And I would give all the credit to the fielder had he held on to it, because this is not a wicket-taking delivery. This was a poor delivery. Ramesh Mendis needs to settle in. The other day I thought he bowled much better. He's gone for 10 of the first 3 and he's bowling in the power plays. This time only a single.
Easy.
It's understood that it's a difficult time to bowl the power play with just 2 fielders in the circle. But then Ramesh Mendis needs to help himself, and that is to make sure that his lines and lengths are better. At the moment, out of the first 4 deliveries, the 3 deliveries hasn't been to the mark. That is the first 3. That's better. That is much better.
Much slower through the air. That's what you need to be doing on this surface. The moment you try to bowl quick, that's where the batsman will find it more comfortable. Oh, look at that turn. The moment you release that slow, it really starts to grip and turn. That's the end of over number 4. The Greens are 28 for 1.
That's the equation. At the moment, the gap between runs and balls are 40. So it was much less at the start, 120 and 64. So 164, that was 44. Now it's been reduced to 40. But they have to continue the momentum. That time, that's 4, short and wide. What Bhanuka Rajapaksa is doing so well is he's working that offside brilliantly, picking the length and going square of the wicket.
Top shot. He picked up the length very early and picked up his gap. Played it very late and found the gap for another boundary. Good comeback. Good comeback from Mahesh Deekshant this time. Just a single.
5 of the first 2. That boundary he got was virtually off his stumps. Gave himself room, and that's the kind of aggression, the stroke play you will expect from the greens at this stage, just to continue the momentum and need to make full use of the power play. Goes over the top this time into the gap at mid-wicket. Good fielding in the deep. That is not good running. It's a no ball. Fernando is the fielder, so it's going to be a free hit. Now this is Mahesh Deekshant is not happy. Let's see. Let's see. I don't think that's a no ball. I think he landed inside at the point that the heel was inside. I really don't think that's a no ball. He had something behind the line. It's not even tight. It's not even tight. Yes, I can understand his frustration.
He's definitely not happy. Free hit. I think, Roshan, this is the second time that this happened. Nuwan Tushar was the victim on the previous occasion. And this time, Bhanuka Rajapaksa launches into that one. It's a free hit taken to the cleaners. They get the maximum out of that. I would feel for the bowler, but the Greens will take it.
Well, there's no reason not to take it. It's not their problem. They just capitalized on an opportunity, and I feel that the Greys are hard done by. They're not just a faulty call, but they paid a price by giving a 6 with that extra delivery. Then nothing the bowler could do or the fielding side could do. They just need to kick on or carry on. Now this time they're asking for a catch, and the umpire is unmoved. The fella doesn't believe it. Mahesh Deekshant is not happy. It's worth taking a look. The umpire under some pressure. Let's see. Let's keep an eye. Let's see whether there is any deviation. Slow it down. He was looking to run it. Well, it looks very close to that outside edge. It looks very close. Bhanuka Rajapaksa looked back. I don't know whether that's a giveaway. Dick Weller's reaction suggests that there was a big nick.
He went up straight away. Niroshan Dick Weller. And the bowler followed. Well, Mahesh Deekshant is definitely not a happy man. It's proven to be an expensive over now. After that free hit, the cash not be given. But Bhanuka Rajapaksa has moved on to 25 or 14. He's a dangerous customer. 1 ball to go in the 5th over.
Well, this has been an eventful over. No ball. Catch. A confident appeal for a catch. Last ball of the over. 4. fantastic over as far as the Greens are concerned. It's 46 for 1 at the end of 5.
$46 for 1 after 5, just what we hoped this game to get to a closing or a competitive stage. With the new ball, the Greens will be after the bowlers. Rajapaksha has been superb. Kamil Mishra playing his second fiddle. Certainly, in my opinion, been joined by Gamini Pereira. Gamini, they're well on their way if they keep the same momentum and same intensity going forward.
Yeah, you're right. 163 seems to be a modest total, but the start that these two have got, they are penciling in these run chase, aren't they? Both these left-handers can be very destructive. Right, this is the final over of the power play. Benito Fernando has been introduced once again for his second over.
Rajapaksha coming down the tackle, taking a shimmy to get the length and probably go over mid-wicket. And when Benito Fernando is in doubt and he knows that the batsman is after him, his go-to ball is a slow ball. This was the last appeal, a massive appeal in my opinion, looking at Banu Rajapaksha's body language as well as Dick Queller's and the bowler Gamini. That suggests to me a bit of a deviation.
I know the umpire doesn't have the technology that we have, but you can see there's a change in rotation of the ball as well. The seam is straightening up. Taking the aerial route and gone all the way. At times when your one hand is going towards your own side, you're not going to get the timing, but this he did have the timing, didn't he? That was a lovely hit.
Yeah, fantastic shot. Brings out the 50 as well for the Greens. On the up. No half measures. And Kamil Mishra, what he does really well there is to have a good shape. Swinging through the line. Not at all a bad delivery by Benito Fernando. He's still finding some movement in the air. But sometimes when the batsman plays a stroke like that, you just have to say well played. Slower delivery again. I think that's the way forward for the faster bowlers in this surface, isn't it? Take space off the ball.
Yeah, definitely, Maha. And the other thing is the opposition that you're facing. Both these batters love the ball coming on. They like the pace on. So pace off will be a lot more effective, not only on the surface, but against these two quality strikers too. 54. We mentioned in that last stint, in that previous innings, Maha, how batters will try to use these 6 overs to get as many as they can, because as the ball gets older, it seems to be holding up a touch.
Yeah, 3 deliveries to go to end the power play. Bhanuka will target. He did. Square leg in place, and it clears him. Don't think Banu Rajapaksha went through with the stroke. A bit of luck in his side, that clears the boundary pretty easily.
Yeah, when he gets to get into his stride, Banu Rajapaksha he's a magnificent striker. This time using the speed. Had no intention of keeping it down, although there was a fielder patrolling that boundary line. Hands coming from low to high. 65-yard boundary. Now the maximum point inside the ring. There is a fine leg and a deep square leg, so it'll be fuller and on the onside or shorter towards the body. There you are.
To all our viewers at home, excuse the language from Banu Rajapaksha. Did not enjoy it. Probably in the rib cage. Pace off again by Bindra.
32 for Rajapaksha. Vishara 20. Vishara 2. Looks like he has got into his groove again. That previous the shot over the bowler's head signifies a return to form. Vishara once again into the pitch, high up in there and gone the distance. Just like he was waiting for the shorter one, wasn't he, Maha? Just stand and deliver. That's another expensive over. Well, the first power play ends with this shot. "61 after 6.
Banu Rajapaksha is not that far behind, is he? 4 sixes, 4 big ones. Pathum Nissanka have been scoring runs, but both the games in the losing side. But Banu Rajapaksha, he means business. Hierarchy of the selectors as well as the national side, the coach, the assistant coach, the manager, chairman of selectors, Staranga Paranithan, one of the co-selectors, keeping close eye on the proceedings. Charita Sri Lanka bringing himself. Ramesh Mendes, the other off spinner in this side, was too quick for my liking in the power play. And I think in this surface, Charita Sri Lanka's pace will be ideal. The batsmen have to make their own pace since the ball is stopping a bit. But I think since the ball is still new, the seam is quite profound, the ball will skid on. And Banu Rajapaksha got to play the way he's been playing. Try and attack, try and maximize the time with the new ball. Comes down the track and misses it. The first delivery of Charita Sri Lanka. Banu Rajapaksha, he said, I don't want any sighters. Trying to go extra cover, misses it. And the ball crashes to the leg stump.
Yeah, that's one of his favourite shots, Rajapaksha. Looking to go inside out, over extra cover, over the infield, but it didn't have any turn. Played for the turn, didn't turn. Very smart bowling by Sri Lanka. And he held the ball in his hand for a fraction, I think, too. 38 off 20 at 190, 67 for 1.
Sadir Samar Vikram at number 4 for the Greens. Missed out on a golden opportunity in the last game was a soft dismissal. And this is a great opportunity to play the finisher's role. Greens are well on their way. They got the required rate within controllable levels. Good maintenance. But the lack of pace we mentioned about Charita Sri Lanka probably be the ideal bowler in this sort of a surface. Slowed it down. And Banu Rajapaksha, after a blistering knock of 38, he was dismissed. Coming round the wicket to the right-hander. Off the mark straight away.
Yeah, very interesting to see Maha, the pace that he operates Sri Lanka. He's probably the slowest out of the spinners we've seen thus far in today's game. And he plays his club cricket here as well, so he knows about this pitch. That was quicker, hurried on to him. Yeah, he's more than a handy customer to deal with, isn't he, Sri Lanka? He's done that at the international level as well, a couple of times. Against Australia, he picked up 4 for in one game, didn't he? Sets him up over the infield. Comes back for the second, Vishar. Once again, he was beaten for the speed. It was a bit too slow for his liking, Kamil Visharas.
playing for the turn. And Dick Queller's celebration says it how big wicket that was. A successful over comes to an end. A wicket and 5 runs from Charita Sri Lanka's first over. 71 for 2. Kamida Mendis, Chami Karunaratne, Dushan Hemant, they all can bat. Even Trevin Matthews can hold the bat. And Pawan Ratnayak at the moment, his name is 11. I'm pretty sure he'll be probably next or number 6. Ramesh Mendis into the attack. Beautiful ball. That's much better.
Back up. Yeah, he did get some turn, Ramesh Mendis, in his first over. Got a ball to grip. But this time he'll have to deal with the right-handed Sadira Samaravikrama. Samaravikrama is also a player, Maha, that looking to come out with some significant performance, doesn't he? He's been out of the national team for a while now, so he needs a big one to come into recognition once again.
Made the news in the mainstream as well as in the social media with that Samaravikrama has been looked at number 4, and I'm pretty sure that I saw an article, it said that he's been looked at number 4 in the ODI side. But still, he can come good. That's poor fielding and poor backup by the GREYS, resulting in extra run being given away. So certainly it's a massive opportunity. Player like Sadira Samaravikrama, who's trying to make a name for himself, again been dropped for a while. An ideal opportunity. The situation is just tailor-made for one of his masterful knocks. Be the finisher, stay till the end, and take his whole team's take his side home.
Easy. Not straight this time from Mendis. Just a moment ago we saw Jaya Surya with Kandambi and some of the selectors watching. It's very close. I'll tell you what, Maha, some of the things that they will be happy is, yeah, bowling and batting, but apart, there's some out cricket that they will not be happy with. We've seen in this game, haven't we? Running between wickets, not taking that first one quickly and looking for the second one. Some of the players fielding, backing up, and there you are, another very untidy piece of work.
Yeah, that's Chamida Wickramasinghe. He's got a better arm than that. Almost clearing Dick Queller's helmet there. I think when it comes to running between wickets, it's all about the attitude. The perfect example I could bring is a great Virat Kohli. Every time there's no jogging around with him. Run the first one out, put the pressure on the fielder, and there will be some sort of a mistake and you pounce on it. So for me, it's all about attitude, how hungry you are for the runs, not only for your own personal runs, for your partners as well. That's what you play a team game for. Yes, some of the players in this competition, I think that can improve a lot in running in between wicket intensity. 2 is a call by Sadira. They're not taking on Munith Fernando's arm there. 5 singles and a triple to end the 8th over. 79 for 2.
Yes.
Red just over 7 runs. So far only 4 bowlers been used by Charita Sri Lanka. And I like the fact that he is containing himself. Looks like, I just have this gut feeling that he's sort of a bowler a batter probably won't enjoy facing in this kind of a surface. Shot. Is it in the gap? It is. Perfectly bisected the gap between deep square leg and mid wicket.
Timing and placement. from Sadira Samaravikrama, and also the fact that he used the depth of the crease to play it after it spun. See where his back foot is. The quality that you will require at this level to play good spinners. A player like that will never get stuck. We mentioned, coming back to the point that you were making about out cricket and the attitude, how important it is these days, for that matter, it's any form of cricket or any level of cricket. The material of who you play against, where you play, which ground, the conditions, those habits. It's a habit, isn't it? Success is a habit. You can't switch it off and switch it on. See, that's why Virat Kohli, whether he plays backyard cricket, he's running between, he's fielding, it's the same attitude and the habits. India, into the gap, Mishara comes back. Yeah, these two will enjoy running between wickets instead of Bhanuka Rajapaksa, Kamil Mishara certainly, because these both of them are very quick between the wickets and looking for that second run.
Already 6 runs in the first 2 deliveries of Charit. Beautifully done. Back cut. Mahesh Theekshana. He gives chase. Should be a couple of runs easy. Yeah, Sadira Samaravikrama, when he's in super form, someone that I certainly enjoy watching him bat. Has all the strokes in the books. Plays spin well, plays pace well. And after that stroke, there's a change in the field. Mid-wicket moves towards across to cover point. So it becomes an easy single towards mid-wicket with the ball turning back in to the right-hander. Just like that.
Yeah, change was made, Maha, because everyone is aware how good a player Samaravikrama on the offside is. He's got that ability to hit it inside out over extra cover, one of his favourite shots, he says. And yeah, I think the fielder was moved just to prevent the boundary being scored. So conceding the single. Mishara back on strike. Idea was to go extra cover. Once again, there was no turn. So caught the inside part to long off. Current run rate, Maha, 10.15. These two are cruising at the minute.
Lack of pace, the last delivery. If there's any pace offered by the bowler, Kamil Mishara would have smashed it over extra cover. Well within the reach, the required rate. It's all about keeping busy. In front of square. And the sweeper cover field, Alai Rudara. He's just a mere spectator. Couple of boundaries in that over. And brings in an expensive over by Charita Sri Lanka. For the first time in this innings, the required rate has gone below 7 runs. Vijaykanth Viyaskant, the leg spinner, into the attack. Now got to get the right pace, Vijaykanth. Required at 6.45, current at 10.33. Just a matter of these two players. Is batting normal. The loose balls, deliveries have been offered. Straight away, the first ball going for the reverse sweep. That was premeditated by Kamil Mishara.
I know these guys know about each other, Maha, but it just signifies a modern day T20 cricket. A new bowler, first ball, do not know the speed out of the hand, but brave enough to play a premeditated switch shot. It's amazing how some of the game has evolved away after the T20 introduction. The fear of failure has gone out of your system. Shot! Wow! That would have been massive. Shot and outside the off stump. Sadira Samaravikrama, if he had hit that into the hands, he would have been suffering in his chair.
Sadira was guilty of a similar sort of a dismissal, a soft one. That was against Dasun Shanaka. This again was a long hop, almost hitting to the palms of Mahesh Theekshana. When he's on superb form, timing the ball well, when you get a start, try and maximize it, utilize it for your own benefit. Kamil Mishara was way too early to the stroke. Kogli being bowled by Viyaskant. Again, another indication how slow this pitch is. Once the ball loses the hardness, the shine, the profound seam, it gets slower and slower. Googly again. And long on fielder. And goes at the top. Brilliant effort by the fielder at long on. But that delivery certainly deserved a maximum.
Yeah, dragged its length. That was a half past 6 delivery, you could call it. Again came all wrong. Attempted wrong one. Mishara this time connects it and deposit one towards that long on. I know these days they do a lot of fielding training on the boundary line, Maha. That's again nicely placed. Back for the second. Mishara is also playing a little gem of an innings here.
Brilliant cricket all round. Good intensity shown by the two batters in between wickets. Ran the first one hard, picked the googly initially, and even Lairu Dar at cow point, he sprinted in. Almost a direct hit from deep cow point. This is what you like to see at this level. No easy runs being given away. Got to earn everything. So far, 10 runs with 1 ball remaining. Oh, Dikwella thought that they could have been taken by Wiska. Nevertheless, a single to end the 10th over. It's 104 for 2.
So the Greens 104 for 2 of 10 overs. And the wickets from the innings so far. Good take by Lahiru Dara at the mid-wicket to dismiss the first wicket. Bhanuka Rajapaksha looked good out in the middle, was striking the ball cleanly, but just runs past one from Charith Asalanka. The first delivery he faced from him. So that's the scorecard so far. Still, they look to have the upper hand, 104 for 2. Mishara not out on 38 of 27, and Sadira Samaravikrama has come out and scored some runs quickly, 20 of 10. Bowlers Binura Fernando, Charith Asalanka, the ones who've taken the wickets. As I say, good afternoon to Roshan Abhyasinha.
Good afternoon, Estelle. Still a lot of cricket left, but you'll feel that obviously judging by where the game is, the Greens will be the happiest. 60 of 60 is not difficult. 8 wickets standing, but all what the Greys would want is maybe get a wicket or two quickly. Just try and open up one end. Can they go through the rest of the batting? Those will be the questions. Eshan Malinga went for runs, but he's been a good wicket-taking option. 4 for 42 the other day after conceding 22 runs in the first over. So the Greys do have the bowling resources, so it's about making sure that they hold on to those half chances and they also strike early.
Wide outside the off stump to start his spell, Ishan Malinga. Very similar to what he did in the previous game. He's been brought into the attack to keep the runs down. Starts off just inside that wide line.
Well, if you look at the field set, he's got a deep third on the boundary, deep point on the boundary, so he's looking to go full and wide. He's not going to bowl straight, and now immediate response is for the batter to bat on the off stump.
That's nicely struck from Kamil Mishara, and it finds the boundary. The left-hander has been timing those deliveries outside the off stump so well.
Very clever batting, I thought. Batting on the off stump, making the bowler bowl to him, and then opening the face. Look at how he uses his hands, deliberately opens the face and goes wide, using the pace of the ball, timing, the outfield, everything supporting him.
This time much straighter from Ishan Malinga, but that's really good cricket. Mishara just turning the strike over. He's got the boundary that he wanted in this over, as we discussed. Just 60 needed off the last 10, so they can afford to have a few quiet overs.
Well, Sadira Samaravikrama 20 of 10, Kamil Mishara 43 of 30. They both seem to be in a good zone, scoring runs quickly. Now short fine leg in the circle. Ishan Malinga will go full and wide with that short third and backward point on the boundary. So that's a look at that offside field. So wickets as far as the Greys are concerned.
Quick bouncer from Ishan Malinga, but just going over Sadira Samaravikrama's head. So called a wide by the umpire.
Yeah, that's very good. I like it. Obviously, Sadira Samaravikrama expecting a full delivery wide of the off stump. Ishan Malinga surprising him. But clearly a wide, but plenty of pace, plenty of bounce for someone of Ishan Malinga's height.
Pace off on that occasion, and Samaravikrama's bat just turning in his hands. No damage done though. Picks up another single.
See, Ishan Malinga's speciality is he skids on, but you could look at that. You could see him rolling his fingers on top of that, looking to bowl a quickish off break. The ball running off an inside edge. But pace on, short delivery. He's generally someone, rather than getting that bounce, he skids on to you. He can surprise you with pace.
That's a full toss. And Kamil Mishara finds the gap between long on and deep mid wicket. That's run away to the boundary. So second boundary of the over. It's been a good over so far. Ishan Malinga would have been expected to be the one to pick up the breakthrough, but he's gone for plenty of runs.
Yeah, missed out. I think he was going for the Yorker and missed out. Eventually turned out to be a friendly full toss. And Kamil Mishara is in such good form that he's going to pounce on anything that's in that arc.
Nicely timed once again on the offside. Kamil Mishara. That's a beautiful cover drive, and it takes him to his 50 of just 32 deliveries.
15 runs off that over. It's 119 for 2.
So Vyaskant back into the attack. His first over going for 11 runs. Not a good over from Ishan Malinga, and now that's brought the equation to an even more comfortable position for the Greens. Sadira Samaravikrama just working it to the leg side. So Vyaskant will need to get a couple of breakthroughs if he is to keep the Greys in the game. That's the last delivery of the last over. Just perfectly placed by Kamil Mishara. Fielder in the deep, a lot squarer than you would normally find a sweeper, so finds the gap well. In the air, not timed on that occasion, but once again just falls short of the fielder.
Well, Vyaskanth has a role here, and his role is to try and get wickets as a leg spinner. Wrist spinners are always wicket-taking options if you use them effectively. And at the moment, he's been worked around for singles. Kamil Mishara and Sadira Samaravikram. As you said, the run rate gives them a very good cushion not to look for risky shots, not to try and overdo things. Time. They can afford to just knock it around and just squeeze the bowling.
Bowled him. Vyaskanth just goes right through Kamil Mishara on that occasion. Mishara trying to play across the line. That didn't bounce much and he's missed it completely. And he's been castled.
Yeah, big wicket. Very big wicket for the Greys. They were after a wicket quickly, and Kamil Mishara is the batter who departs. Vyaskanth pushing it through. That ball staying down, turning back. I think it was a little bit too full as far as the length was concerned to play that pull, but eventually Kamil Mishara goes for 52 of just 34 balls. It's 122 for 3.
So Pawan Ratnayaka, the new batter for the Greens, has been in prolific form in domestic cricket over the last 18 months or so. Didn't have a good outing against the Blues, but here's another opportunity. As you said, Roshan, the run rate is not a problem. So for both Pawan and Sadira, it's good opportunity to just make their presence known in this competition. Vyaskanth has delivered what was required of him. Wanted a wicket and he's given them that of Kamil Mishara. Just not bouncing as much as Mishara expected. Pretty short delivery as well. Nicely fielded. Backward point to bring to a close the 12th over. So a successful over for Vyaskanth. But the Greens still on top, 122 for 3 after 12. So Eshan Malinga continues from the commentary box, and 15 runs off his opening over. Not the start that he would have wanted after picking up 4 wickets in the previous game. Very, very, very close to hitting the pads, but Sadira Samaravikrama gets some bat on it, and that's raced away to the fine leg boundary.
Yep, going for that swinging Yorker. Eshan Malinga getting it to tail back into the right-hander. Just finding that edge Not off the meat of the bat, just brushing the bat as it went through to fine leg. That's a good delivery. But Sadira Samaravikrama was equal to the task. Ishan Malinga is someone who's been used as a wicket taker. So he's been given that extra over despite conceding 19 runs in his first over. Into the pitch that time, short delivery. Finds the fielder. Only a single.
Yeah, just on his wicket-taking ability, Roshan. Interesting also that he wasn't brought into the attack in the first 10 overs, despite the Greens going at a good rate. So, brought in, where more or less the game is in the hands of the Greens.
Yeah, there are different bowlers. There are bowlers that bowl in different phases of the game. If you look at Mahesh Deekshana, he's somebody who bowls in the power plays. Ishan Malinga generally bowls in the second half. Vanidhu Hasaranga bowls mostly in the second half. So there are certain roles. Again, pace off that time. No real pace, but going full. So Ishan Malinga, I think he's comfortable bowling in that second phase of the innings. But the point you make is well heard and well taken. Because he doesn't bowl with the new ball. He's someone who could bowl with the oldish ball. But being persisted because he is a wicket taker.
Nicely bowled on that occasion. Once again, rolling his fingers over. Sadira Samaravikrama not able to get any timing on that. So it's Pawan Ratnayaka. Has yet to get off the mark.
Just if you look at that, it bowls into the pitch. The ball hardly arrives. Pawan Ratnayaka was through with the shot. So you'll expect this. You'll expect Ishan Malinga to try and mix it up, searching for that wicket.
Lovely shot. Pawan Ratnayaka. This time, pace on the delivery. Able to clear the inner field. Gets his first boundary and gets off the mark.
Don't think the length was right. Mid-off in the circle, you bowl the length delivery. And that becomes quite easy. Pawan Ratnayaka just had to extend his arms and just went through the line. One bounce for 4. So Ishan Malinga needs to get his radar right. He's going to bowl wide of the off stump, looking to bowl full. But he's got to be mindful that mid-off is inside the circle. So that was a delivery that was asking to be hit over the top. And Pawan Ratnayaka was very good with the way he executed it.
So another expensive over, 9 runs so far. Last delivery coming up for Malinga. That's good cricket. Pawan Ratnayaka just working it into the leg side. Doesn't need to take too many risks. Ends the 13th over. The Greens now 132 for 3. So that's the match so far. The Greys posting 163 for 6 after being put into bat by the Greens. The Greens, Kamil Mishara top scoring with 52. Sadira Samaravikrama not out on 28. They need just 32 runs now in the next 42 deliveries. So they'll want to end things quickly, put themselves at the top of this SLC T20 league table.
Yeah, the asking rate is not frightening at all. You're asking at less than a run a ball. Nice evening for the family to have some leisure, to spend some time, come and watch some cricket, have a bit of run around at the SSC. So Vyaskant will continue bowling his leg breaks and starts off with a dot, but at this stage what the Greys are after has to be wicket. Yes, dots are important. Dots are what that will build pressure. Well, families have turned up. That's nice.
It's nice to see the interest shown by the public. Even on Friday, we saw a decent crowd come in, especially encouraging to see young kids coming in to watch these games.
Yeah, that's encouraging, as you say. Shows the level of interest. Come and watch a domestic T20 game played that includes big names of Sri Lanka cricket. Well, they would love to see a Charith Asalanka at close quarters, or a Mahesh Deekshana, or a Dushmanta Chamira, so a Niroshan Dikwala. There's so many players that you would want to see, would want to talk to, get close to.
Good running. Sadira Samaravikrama comes back for a second. That's been a feature of this innings, isn't it? Soft dismissal in the previous game, but today he's made it count. 30 of just 17 deliveries.
See, and also I like the way they have paced their innings. You could see that this pair of batters are not looking to blast the bowling, but instead they're looking to score, but not taking risks. And doing that as well, dropping and running. Quite aware as to where the areas that they could score off. And they'll also be identifying fielders to whom they could take singles and run twos. So this is clever batting.
Once again, straight to the fielder. But this pair, they're so quick between the wickets, they're able to pinch another single. So 5 runs off that Viyaskant over. The Greens now 137 for 3 after 14. So 27 needed of the last 6 overs. The required rate at just 4.50. So the Greens well on top in this game. They'd be extremely disappointed if they don't go on to win this. Binura Fernando being brought back into the attack. He's got 1 for 23 in his 2 overs so far. He's going to have to put in a massive effort if he is to bring the Greys back into this game.
I think it's going to be 2 decisive overs here. Binura Fernando has a role to play, and if the Greys are in any way going to pull this back, he needs to do something special in these 2 overs.
Nicely played. That's good fielding in the deep by Lahiru Udara. Pawan Ratnayaka picks up 2. Udara also one of those keepers, but has been very good in the field, hasn't he?
Well, this is T20 cricket for you, Estelle. You just cannot afford to have any passengers on the field. Whether you're a wicket keeper or whether you're a specialist fielder, you are expected to give your 110%, not 100. So even on the field, you'll see the Sadira Samaravikramas, the Lahiru Udaras throwing themselves around, knowing that if you don't have the gloves, you've got to be contributing on the field.
Nicely timed on that occasion, Pawan Ratnayaka, and that's cleared the boundary. So a 6 for him off the second delivery of Binura Fernando's over, and just drawing the curtains on this game quite quickly.
I think Pawan Ratnayaka has turned out to be a revelation. Honestly, he was first considered to be somebody who would be a grinder, who would be grinding runs. But now he's also showing the other side of his batting, and that is that he's able to score runs quickly. Just like that short delivery which was pulled. That time pays off. So he is turning out to be a very good all-round batter for Sri Lanka.
Yes, and he's made plenty of runs over the last 2 years or so, whether it's been in domestic cricket or A-team cricket. So deserved opportunity for Pawan Ratnayaka Sri Lanka also looking for that middle order option. Maybe he could be the one.
Certainly thought that he was very close to make his test debut in that last series. And I think there was Pasindo Surya Bandara as well. So that's a wide. That was Pawan Ratnayaka that made Binru Fernando do that. He was going back and going across, and Binru Fernando followed him and went wider.
You're just moving around in his crease. Binru Fernando bowling it a little wide, and that's well past the wide line. No questions there on the decision. Single on that occasion, so Pawan Ratnayaka gets off strike.
It's been a day where the Greens have completely dominated, even on the field. You did see Matthew bowling brilliantly, holding on to those catchers. It was a good all-round effort with the ball in hand. And when we were talking about a surface that appeared to be taking spin and gripping, the Green batters have come out and expressed themselves fearlessly with some wonderful batting.
Nicely fielded in the ring by Mahesh Deekshana. Yes, the Greens have dominated, and we did think 160 plus might be a good target considering how the ball started turning in that first innings, but really hasn't been too much of a problem for the Greens.
Has been no problem at all. I think they've made batting look easy. Taken on the spinners, has punished the faster bowlers too.
Lofted to the fielder at long off. It's a decent shot by Pawan Ratnayaka to end the 15th over. So 15 of 30 required. The Greens now 149 for 3.
That's the equation, 15 off 30. $149 for 3. The Greens have planned their innings out very well. Bhanuka Rajapaksa led them at the top with Kamil Mishara. There you go. Pawan Ratnayaka holds out in the deep to Lahiru Udara. Vijay picks up his second, but has it come too late, Gamini?
Yeah, I think it's a bit too late, Cozy. Yeah, wasn't up to the pitch of it, but still went through the shot, Pawan Ratnayaka. Normally a very good player, straight down the ground. Didn't have the timing, comfortably taken. Never easy, those ones. You have to have the presence of mind where the boundary line is, but nicely taken. Yeah, this we just can't deserve that wicket. Ratnayaka goes for 17 or 15, 149 for 4.
So Kamida Mendes, the skipper, comes out to the centre. He will have to do the final touches or the finishing touches. 149 for 4. I still feel the Greaves have it under control unless Vijay can create some magic.
Yeah, not that it never happened before. We've seen some dramatic things happen in T20 cricket. Avishka Gunawardana, Kamil Mishara, well, he'll be happy. Chamila Gamage next to Avishka Gunawardana. Nicely bowled. Direct hit, I'll tell you what. Prime Vimalsari was in a very good position. It's closer than you think. I don't think Kamidu Mendes expected that throw to come to his end. That single brings up 150. Let's have a look. Has he got his bat down? Yeah, he did. Yeah, perfect technique of grounding the bat. We were speaking about habits, Kosala, in my last in with Faiz Maharoof. Now that's a habit. It doesn't matter what time or whatever the situation is. That's how you ground your bat.
Yeah, you should do that. Even if you're comfortably home, you feel that you need to ground your bat properly or crease your bat. Crease might be the correct word, Gamini.
Yes, slide it in, they say. 1-5-1 for 4, 13 of 27. It's a mere formality what the outcome is, but like you mentioned, yes, can't. Very well weighed by Mendes, but still the one. That's all. Yeah, I think it's quite safe to say, Kosala, that GREYS been outplayed in all three departments in this game. The Greens bowled brilliantly on a wicket that was assisting the batters. Whoa, how did that miss? Missed the bat, missed the keeper. Oh, well, did he touch the line? I think he did. I think the boundary line moved.
Bye is given. No referral, so.
Yeah, no TV umpire Kosi, so he gets away with one.
But that one bounced, isn't it? That one just came up. No, I think he's safe. But one thing nice is to see Sadira Samaravikrama getting into the runs. That'll build loads of confidence to him.
Yeah, he's one of those batters, regardless of T20 or 50 overall red ball. When he gets in the act, it's so nice, it's so good to the eye. 16 overs completed, 1-5-6 for 4.
There you go. 2 shots away for Greens to go on top of the table. Mahesh Deekshana comes in for his final. He's been expensive. He's gone for 10 runs per over. 30 from his 3 wicketless. Not what you would see with Mahesh Deekshana. Kamala Mendes. What will you want to do? Well, it'll go down as a wide.
Yeah, good that you mentioned Kosala. One will probably question whether Mahesh Deekshana is at his best. Normally he's pretty much on the coin when he's on song. Starts with a wide once again. Wicketless, like you mentioned. Soft dismissal, easy one. Caught Vyas can't bowl Mahesh Deekshana coming to Mendes. Well, he'll be very disappointed with 8 runs to win, and you get out in that manner. I think that ball just held up on the surface, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what it did. It just held up on its surface. Kamidu was trying to work it around, but he goes for 2. Greens lose their 5th. He's been taken on. Hero of the first game, Shamika Karunaratne walks into the centre with Greens needing 2 hits away to take this game from the Greys. Shamika Karunaratne is in because this happened in the previous delivery. Kamala Mendes was trying to work things out, only found Vijaykant at short mid. Shamika, he will not want to hang around. He will definitely look to go big here against Deekshana.
Yeah, he must be having a good head on his shoulders too after that outing in the previous one. Runs and wickets. My goodness gracious me. 6:30 delivery that you could call it. Long hop to get off the mark for Karunaratne. Yeah, regardless of his figures, one would probably question Kosala whether Deekshana has got the control that he used to have. Plenty of loose deliveries. Slower, but nicely played. I thought that came off the middle of the bat. Bit audacious, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. The fact is, Gamini, do we have a replacement for Deekshana? Do we have Sri Lanka going into 2 big tournaments? Will Sri Lanka want to try somebody new, or will they want to go with Deekshana with the experience he carries? These are things that will linger in the minds of the selectors. And loose delivery, put away quite comfortably. That's gone for 6. That is the end of the game. Shamika Karunaratne seals things for the Greens. And Mahesh Deekshana's ill direction keeps continuing, Gamini.
Yeah, again, it all came wrong, didn't it? That front hand going towards the left-hand side, falling over a touch. Waist high full toss. The man in form, Karunaratne, does not need a second invitation to take a toll of that one. Well, Greens will go to the top of the ladder. They'll be unbeaten coming into that last game. Or 2 more games, I should say. Every team played twice against each other. And the grand final is on the 16th. End of the day, Kosala, I think Greys have been comprehensively beaten by 5 wickets by the Greens. They bowled well. They fielded very well. The one thing that you will not see in the scorecard or the highlight package is that 3 wickets and a very good run out from Trevin Matthews. And
3 catches, in fact.
33 catches and a run out. Yep. I stay corrected. And so 165 for 5 at the end with plenty of deliveries to spare.
Greys rather a bit disappointed. After getting to 160, just blew away from them. This is the Greens batting. Kamil Mishara 52 at the top, and Bhanuka Rajapaksa 38 paved the way for the run chase, and then Sadira Samaravikama with his 36 batted around Pavan Ratnayaka and Kamidu and Shamika to take them past the required target of 163.
Well, as far as the bowling is concerned, Greys, Mahesh Deekshana, it was very expensive, coughed a bit of stick. So did Binura Fernando for that matter. 3 overs, 35, both picked up a wicket apiece. But the star was Vijaykant. 4 overs, 7 dots, 24 for 2. He stood out. Charit Asalanka picked up a wicket. But there was a good partnership for the second wicket and for the third wicket, which took them to 165 for 5.
Kamil Mishara and Lasith Cruz Pulle started proceedings for the Greens. in their run chase. Kamil Mishara started off well. Lasit Cruz Pulle held out in the deep to Binura Fernando, the early fall, but then Kamil Mishara and Bhanuka Rajapaksa just got boundaries at regular intervals and put the loose balls away very comfortably, and was very severe on anything that was pitched up to him, especially Bhanuka Rajapaksa. We know how he plays. And Kamil Mishara was not afraid to clear that offside field or go over the top against Binra. And Binra Fernando just missed his length against Bhanuka Rajapaksa when he took him to the cleaners. But then Charit Tasalanka had the best of him when he came on to bowl. But that was it. But then Sadira Samaravikrama joining Kamil Mishara just made sure that the greens were in the game. Kamil Mishara, I thought, batted very well for his half century, playing shots all around the ground and indicating that we got another batter on the cards.
Yeah, well completed half century for Kamil Mishara. And he was undone by a quicker delivery from Vyas Khan. Boundary off the first delivery for Sadira Samaravikrama. Played some delightful shots, particularly through the offside. That was too short and Samaravikrama cashed in. And then he was held out at long on. Comfortable catch by Lahiru Dara. Soft dismissal for Kamidu Mendis. That's the match-winning hit from Karunaratne.
I've been joined by the man of the match of who batted so well, 52 out. We must be pretty unhappy that you were not there the last moment. Talk to us about the surface out there in the second innings.
It's like first inning is like it's a little bit turn and some bounce, but second is just like a little bit change, some turning and some grip. So yeah, it's a small change. It's not about a lot of.
You thought with the new ball it was easy to bat with the ball skidding on?
Yeah, it's like the first thing was like it's easy to bat on the new ball because it's like gets ball all, and then like sometimes a grip.
And also talking about your side, it looks like a well-oiled machine captained by Kamidu Mendis. Everything seems to be working well.
Yeah, like everyone is like doing their job really good, and they were like doing the 100% of their game. Like that's why we end up like this.
Enjoyed watching you, Kamil. All the best to the rest of the games as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're joining Kamidu Mendis for a chat. Kamidu, everything seems to be going really well. You must be a happy man. 2 out of 2.
Yeah, it was today was a good win, and we also won the first game as well. Boys did really well in both games.
Kamidu the bat last game, Kamidu the ball today. Prompted you to bowl probably the surface is taking a little bit of turn?
Yeah, once we realized the surface is slow, I thought we should bowl 12 overs from the spinner. So that's why I bowled 4 overs and the other 2.
And that's why Charmik only bowled 1 over as well.
Yeah.
And talking about the surface, were you slightly surprised how slow it was comparing the first 2 games?
Yeah, actually I thought in the beginning I thought the wicket was good, but when we were bowling first few overs, we realized that the wicket was a bit slow.
On the slow side.
Yeah.
And also looking at the greens from outside, looks a very solid side. Anything that you want to see different from everybody?
Actually, as a team we doing really well right now. Today Kamil scored a good half century, and every other player did their job and contributing to the team.
Enjoy watching you, Kamidu. You and your team go well. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Over to the commentators.
Thank you, Maha. So there you go. That was Kamidu Mendis, the winning captain, and the player of the game, Kamil Mishara, joining Fawaz Maharoof. So this is how the match proned out at the end. GREYS batting first, made 163 for 6. A top score 52 by Dikwella. Lahiru, Udara, Nuinudu and Dinesh Chandimal just chipping in. 2 wickets apiece for Noan Tushara and Kamidu Mendes. And in reply, the Greens 165 for 5 in 16.4 overs with Kalin Mishara top scoring 52. Banuku Rajapaksa and Sadira Samaravikrama getting into the 30s. 2 wickets for Vijay Khan. Mahesh Dixit, Abhinur and Charit picked up wickets but could not stop the Greens, who won the match by 5 wickets. So these are the matches coming up. We got the Greens taking on the Blues tomorrow, because we have completed 3 games. And then on the 13th and 14th, we got the Blues and the Greys and the Greens and the Greys, and the final on the 16th. So join us tomorrow on the same time. That's 1:30 p.m., 1:15 p.m. for our live coverage from the Singley Sports Club grounds. It's the Greens taking on the Blues in match number 4 of the SLC T20 League 2025.